Hello and welcome to the stream. Almost missed the countdown. I'm here with Lotta as always, and yeah, welcome to number 20 of the Digital Homicide discussional podcast stream thingy. Today's topic is God. Yeah, not that one. No, it's Games of the Decade. So let me get Lotta in here. Wait, let me unmute him. I have to do so much stuff at the moment. Here. Hi, Lotta.
Hi, Triton. Hi, everyone.
All right.
So, this time it's easy mode.
Yeah, others did the work for us. We're going the lazy approach this time. Is my browser
Well,
loading?
lazy. The last one was actually freaking huge. More than a 5 hours of we talking,
Yeah.
if we count both parts.
All right. Yeah, I already have a list open in the background for everybody wondering.
And I'm still planning to play this Bruce Veteran DLC for Iron Harvest. I definitely think that I will have a lot more to tell.
Maybe you should stream that.
I don't know if I will not just start tearing up my head as if I was streamers.
All right. Well, yeah, we're going through the lists of a few different pages who, yeah, basically did the work for us. We do have our own choices and opinions about games of the last 10 years. And actually, we should have done that last year already. Normally, we should have done that at the beginning of last year, since it depends how you count. Actually, you could count the last year into it as well. So it's from 2010 to 2020, you know.
Yeah, 2020 actually is already a start of a new decade, so makes sense.
Yeah, true. Okay. Well,
And
anyway.
we kind of already prolonged it from plans of the last year, basically December of 2020 to
Yeah,
March of 2021.
that's true. Well,
We're picking up the pace!
all right. Picking up the pace. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, anyway, let's just go through there. We're on IGN. IGN did a list per year, so we're basically going through the years.
A lot of years.
So gonna just
Ah,
go through that. Um, I guess we played some of the games. I guess not all of them. Some maybe not at all. Like I still need to play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I mean, I started it, never really finished it. All of the Amnesia games, actually.
I played it a little bit. I don't know. You know, unlike what was the name? Unlike Outlast, when I was looking at Outlast and oh, I was looking at playthroughs of Outlast and I was like, yep, it's I definitely can deal with that, and I ended up basically abandoning this game halfway through.
Hmm.
And with Amnesia, I didn't have this feeling at all.
Yeah, it's different. The enemy that you have in Outlast is a bit more, hmm,
Grounded, let's say it like that.
yeah, and more aggressive, and yeah, he's more badass. I mean, as far as I played in Amnesia, you have bets and stuff like that, and when you hide, they kind of lose you faster. But the other guy, he's just like, no, wait a second, he went that direction. he might be there, and you're in a closet just looking through those slits in the door, and you're like, no, 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 no. And that guy outside is like, so
And we're having a great start by looking at Amnesia and talking about Outlast.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like every of our streams. We have opinions. We totally never get distracted or get off the straight line of every of our podcasts. So, but yeah, okay. Anyway, they kind of did something weird here. What are they doing now here? Is that they're kind of they start with Amnesia, and then it continues with the 25 scariest games of.
No, when you can. I think it's when you can see when Amnesia featured. I think
No,
it's
I,
that way.
I, I see how I see what they did. They kind of added this stuff in the article because it starts with Amnesia
Yep.
as a horror game, then they link to a horror related shit, and then it continues with other games because Civilization is definitely not horror related.
Basically, a great journalist work.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
distracted, not overloaded, nothing at all.
Yeah, that's something that we wouldn't do. Shit like that. We get distracted with topics and stuff, but no, not with something like that. I mean, nah, that's just
We're
bullshit.
not on salary to do that.
Yeah, that's the next point. All right, well, Amnesia, yeah, yeah, was a good.
Well, it's definitely a historical game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't really remember other games from that time, so
You know,
Civilization 5.
I didn't even remember that Amnesia existed before, especially that it was released in 2010s.
Yeah, I thought it was older actually.
Same thing.
It looks older. Why do I have a why do I have a dent in my freaking keyboard? Okay, never mind. All right. A
Okay,
game.
Civilization Pets 5 is actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, I still need to play that, but knowing from reviews, yeah, it's definitely one of the best. The whole Civilization series is one of the best strategy game series out there since. Oh, when was the first? I think it was 1991 or something like that. I could check. I have Civilization 2 on 8 discs and still the package and everything, and a real manual. You actually needed a manual back then. It was that thick, I think.
Holy crap, you're actually right, it's 1991.
Ha! I was just guessing, but yeah. Um, yeah, and since then, yeah, basically since 30 years by now, because Civilization 6 is the last. I think that came out
Yep.
2019 or so, or 18, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, still, it's one of the best strategy games. I'm not a strategy game player, but I do know that there's a shit ton of stuff in there. You get one of the games and you can play that for forever. I mean, there's so much replayability and yeah, it's really great. I know a lot of people who really enjoy it.
I think you have Civ 5 and I have it as well.
Yeah, I think I have all of them.
Yeah, you can basically test this ability of Civilization 5.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
Like I said,
you know,
I want
yeah,
to
okay.
play it. I want to try it, but since that's not normally a game or a genre that I normally play, other games always come first, so it's always on my backlog. Back on that backlog. All right. Call of Duty Black Ops.
We talked about Blobs 2 on the last episode, so because I have no idea
The thing
about
is,
Blobs 1, so I'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to comment on this one at all.
yeah, I was actually checking if they were going mostly for the single player or the multiplayer. They do talk about exceptional multiplayer, so I think that was the main focus because I'm not sure about the year now and the games that came out, but I know there have been other better single player games than Black Ops at that time. But this is
It
mostly the multiplayer part, I think.
it's I think it came out after Modern Warfare,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's already supposed to have this heavy focus on multiplayer.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I did play Black Ops, wasn't a bad game, but okay. Fallout New Vegas. I actually have that now. I didn't install it yet or add the key, but I have a key from a magazine from last month, so I can finally play it. I never played New Vegas, and everybody says that's the best RPG. So, or FPS, first person RPG.
It's definitely not best first
One of
person shooter.
no, yeah, I know that but that comes with the engine and the mechanics in Fallout itself. So Fallout
Yep.
was never the best shooter game.
They definitely making it at least tolerable shooter for Fallout 4 and Fallout 76.
Yeah, 76. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they basically,
it's the thing that they changed the most is the VATS system, which is basically useless in 76 now, since that's always on and you're not really single player. Um, but that's what they changed the most over the few different games. Um, but yeah, just from the stories and the quests and the RPG part, it's supposed to be one of the best games. So that definitely fits in that category.
and if we're talking about New Vegas, it's actually one of those games that you can beat without shooting at all.
Hmm.
In a way, we're still talking about Fallout, so random gecko, random ghoul, nobody can tell that shit.
Hmm. Yeah, you could actually play the original Fallout as a complete illiterate idiot with zero intelligence and only able to talk in grunt noises, and you couldn't do some quests because you were just too stupid to do them. You couldn't understand what
And
they were telling you or something, but you could finish it as an idiot.
and people actually reactive like you're an idiot. The same in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, you basically
It's
like
not like no matter what your stats in Fallout 4, people will always react the same to you.
mm,
This one actually have this in mind that you have high intelligent, low intelligent, you're high charismatic or not, and something like that.
mm. Yeah, but that was funny when I was reading that you could play and finish the original with intelligence 0 or intelligence 1, and then you cannot do quests because sorry, sorry.
Hulk don't read, Hulk smash!
Yeah, something like that. Okay, moving on. Mass Effect 2. Yeah, well, I I have a problem in general with the Mass Effect series. It started as an RPG, basically, that was mainly story related and some action and some shooting that had some RPG like mechanic. It felt a bit like Fallout. The second one, the focus was already more on action and it felt more like The Division, I would say. So that was already where it ended the series. And the third one was even more action. So when I read that, one of the best role playing cinematic story character driven experience of the last decade, yeah, I think you have to be a fanboy. I don't know. It's the first one wasn't a bad game. I enjoyed that for the most part. Even the shit driving on the planets, which was basically completely useless. um,
It has several points that you can't actually take from Fallout Mass Effect 2. It's cinematic character driven experience.
yeah, Yeah,
And
true, but
as one of the list will say it, Mass Effect 2 is basically the last good game of BioWare.
BioWare. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also over the last few years, I don't know, it's I was reading a bit about different companies and BioWare was included and I was playing a game and I was like, huh, yeah, right. BioWare did that. That was still good back then. I just read an article about the original Syndicate, and in the magazine that I'm buying every month, yes, I'm still reading a paper magazine. Um, there's one of the journalists in there who plays games from his backlog that he couldn't play when they came out originally. So he tests them now, um, how they stand the time, for example, and if they're still fun and if they can still be enjoyable and if they are really as good as people were saying back then. And so the last game he was playing was Syndicate, the original, and that was one of the first games from Peter Molyneux. And yeah, he mentioned in one part, yeah, that you can see that that guy seriously could make games. I mean, there have been really, really a lot of good ideas in Syndicate that are still used in the games until today. And usability back then in the 90s in games was not a normal, regular thing like drag and drop and things like that. So his games back then had all that, and then I don't know what happened. He kind of lost it. Okay, anyway, moving on. Mass
Last
Effect.
Fable was shit, buy a new one.
Yeah, a Mass Effect remaster.
Nah, I'm skipping it entirely.
Yeah, I'm not
They
interested.
they will not fix Mass Effect 3 for sure, but what I've seen they will do, they will break Mass Effect 1, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, because they alter the first one to become more like the second and the third one, which means it gets more action related, I think. And from what I've
And it's
seen,
definitely will lose a lot of dialogue trees.
mm, yeah, it's I don't know. It's a lot of graphical changes and achievements when it comes to that. But if you look, I mean, sure, if you compare the new one with the old one, sure, the old one looks like shit compared. But if you
Yep.
don't know the new one, the remaster, and you see the old one, which is over 10 years old now, it aged well. I mean, I think it was the Unreal 3 engine or so, and if a game was done right in 2010, you don't have to remake it really. It's most of the games from back then with the Unreal Engine, um, they still work pretty well. So there's not really a reason for most of the games from then to be remade. If they're from before 2010, yeah, that's a whole different story. A game from 2005, for example, yeah, sure, you will definitely see a huge difference. So when they remake games that are 5 to 10 years old, I'm always scratching my head. I'm like, that's just making money, not just it's not giving the original fans something back. No, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, anyway.
I'm sorry. Mass Effect 1 looked at my machine the last time I played it, and it was on H IT HD 6850. It looked like shit. I couldn't pick any other graphics quality than low.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean in low I already maxed
I
it
still
out.
played it. I beat it at least twice.
I didn't finish it. I lost interest after a while.
And fun story. I at least 3 times tried to play Mass Effect from 1 to 3. I played Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, I played at least 2 or 3 hours of Mass Effect 3, I dropped this idea. I played then again Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2. I played 1 hour of Mass Effect 3 and said, fuck it.
Okay, is it that much of a difference? That sucks.
Mass Effect 3 is a bull crap that I will never beat again. I physically can't force myself to do that.
You should play Andromeda then, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that joy and that motivation in your face that, yes, let's do it right away. Wait, how much is it? No, no, just kidding. I'm not paying for that
If
shit.
somebody will send me a key and at least $5,000, I will think about it.
Yeah, no, it's cheaper for me to make me play digital homicide games, and I think even more fun than Andromeda. um,
Andromeda is just pathetic.
yeah, I didn't. I saw and read the reviews, and I'm nah, nah. The art style already was something that kind of put me off at first, where I was like, nah, nope, nope, not my style. Okay, moving on. Minecraft.
Minecraft was released in 2010.
The released version, I think.
Well, I mean alpha.
No, the alpha
Alpha
was
build.
older, I think. Yeah, the alpha was definitely older.
Wait, ain't released version of Minecraft somewhere from mid 2000s or something like that? 2011. Hmm.
Um,
So
hmm. Yeah, the Java version, the first one was in May. Android was
okay.
May
Oh yeah.
20.
Okay. Okay. I see. Alpha V100, July 30th, 2010.
Okay.
Okay, so this is freaking date, I guess.
Yeah, I mean this created its own freaking category and is until today still played by millions of people. I think if you have to think about one game of the decade, any game compared, I mean this game has pretty much everything in it. It's FPS, you can have it in third person, you can play it alone, you can play it with people. Um, you have end game, you have a shit ton of content, you have you you craft in there, you have to survive, you have enemies, you basically have everything in that game. And seeing that so many people still play it, and a lot of people made a living from that or started to make a living with Minecraft and are partnered streamers now, or I don't know, working for companies and shit. So yeah, this
Don't
is
forget that don't forget that a lot of games actually copied
oh yeah,
Minecraft either by survival building elements or within art style and stuff.
yeah, still
And
copy.
still got those games.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most influential games of the last 10 years, definitely. I wouldn't know any other game that arrived on the scene basically and never was gone. Like you said, with the clones and stuff, you see a game that has big freaking blocks. Okay, yeah, it's based on Minecraft. You don't even have to know Minecraft to see that, And it's a game pretty much everybody can play. Your mom can play it,
Yeah.
your grandma can play it, a small kid can play it. You don't have to worry about
Especially when they added a tutorial and stuff like that.
yeah,
Well, tutorial, I mean achievements, things that at least have stuff like, hey, open your inventory, make this shape, I should dream and do something like that.
Yeah, it is definitely easier to get into the game now and find out what to do. Back in the day at the beginning, there was no way to know all the recipes or find out all the recipes on your own. You wiki and stuff was your friend. Without, you were completely lost. But it's really awesome to see what they can achieve in Minecraft. They build working computers in there. They build
Yep,
games in the game like Tetris and stuff like that. That's crazy. You don't have that in any other game basically. Yeah, it's Minecraft. You want to be creative and build something completely insane and looking like the real thing maybe. Minecraft.
yep, definitely.
So, yeah, that's
One of the most influential games of previous decade,
yeah,
if not most influential.
definitely. And
And the
still
next one, skip.
will be an influence for the next 10 years as well, I think. I mean, they continue with it. It got RTX now. You can play it in VR, which I still need to freaking do, but that's on my list.
You still didn't try it in VR.
Oh, I played it in VR. I didn't stream it in VR. I did play it in VR. That's why I want to stream it and play it in VR. Um, I the reason for me to get back to Minecraft, I mean, yeah, sometimes I want to play it, and sometimes I just started, played for an hour or two, but yeah, playing it in VR, standing in the game, and but that's stuff that I want to do when everything that I told you earlier is done with the mixed reality and stuff, because then it's me standing in the game. And I hope they changed the controls a bit, because when I played it the last time, you were still playing it with an Xbox controller. So I hope that they have the motion controllers and that I have to actually that there's a way that I can use the pickaxe to hit stuff, because back then you were holding A or something, and just like holding your mouse button. But if I played in VR, I want to physically hit stuff. Like in the forest, for example, if you want to chop a tree, you have to hit it with the freaking axe. So yeah,
Don't hit your wall.
no, that's not a problem. I mean, I play Beat Saber as well, and you hit stuff all the time in Beat Saber, so that's not a problem. But it's exhausting. I mean, chop down 10 trees, and you know that you chop down 10 trees. I mean, just in a game, but you feel that when I play 2 or 3 hours of Beat Saber. Yeah, I can tell. Okay, moving on. Minecraft, awesome game. Yeah, definitely good in that list. NBA 2K11.
Well, I already said skip.
Yeah, I just know from reviews that NBA is basically a dead game. It's used to be good, but nah. I think that's one of the game series. NBA, NHL is also that game series. Basically, those series ended in the 90s. That's
FIFA.
No, FIFA is just something that comes out year by year. I hate football or soccer, so I don't freaking care about anything. It looks super realistic. I have to give that game that. I mean, if you see some screenshots, it looks insanely good. Graphics wise, animations and all that stuff. Great
You
work.
know, one of the Russian YouTubers, when he looked at EA presentations, EA presentation, and they show FIFA, I don't remember which FIFA it was, either 2020 or 2019, and he was like, "You can say that button, yeah, okay, moving on."
Yeah, well, I don't like I said, I don't care. What I know about FIFA, what a lot of people are pissed about for good reason. Um, you cannot call that a microtransaction game anymore. If you don't invest a ton of money, and I think somebody did the test about it, you have to invest about 200 to 300 euros after you paid full price for the game to get a team together that is capable of winning online. Otherwise, if you go with the drops you just get from the game, you will never be able to play against anybody with money online. That's a pay to win game, 100%. And that's just shit. I mean,
And
back,
you should pay for this game in front.
yeah, I mean, back in the day, um, yeah, I sometimes played a game like FIFA with friends, not because I was a fan of soccer, but the games back then were more like fun football games, top down and shit like that. It was pixelated graphics and all. So in the 90s, we also didn't get thousands of games a year. So we had a few hundred maybe. So if there was nothing to play, you played what you got. I mean, we played Mario Soccer and stuff like that. It was fun. I even played some soccer in the arcades and paid money for that to play it with friends, but those were not realistic soccer games. They had like flamed shots and super shots and I don't know, shit like that. So it was more, it was just uh, some fun game and it looked like soccer basically. But yeah, FIFA is I think the only no FIFA and Madden, which I also don't really play because I have not that much of a clue about American football. And baseball is I think baseball is not really a thing anymore when it comes to games like that.
I'm not sure. Actually,
One game series
didn't even
seems.
know about Madden. So
Yeah, I just know that it's one of the games that is also that kind of fits in that list of games like NFL, NBA, and stuff like that. So um, and from reviews, I think it's still one of the games that kinda work and are still kinda on a regularly high level or on a general high level. But yeah, since I have no idea about the sport itself, I don't care for that. I just read it when there's something in the
NBA,
magazine.
uh, NBA on a high level. Do you think?
Hmm?
You think NBA on a high level?
I don't know.
It's not. It's basically a slot roulette right now.
Mm,
It has the same problem as FIFA.
okay. Yeah, well, more gamers tend to play other games like Rocket League, which is basically soccer with cars.
And it's fun.
I I have no idea. It's too much soccer. I tried it, but nah. Nah, seriously, it's
At
like
least it's more fun than.
maybe, but I've seen some matches and holy shit, it's crazy what some people do in that game. Like, I don't know, hitting a ball, jumping with the car in that direction, turn the car, boost, kick. I mean, that's insane sometimes. I'm like, "Oh, how? How do you do that? No, I tried it. It looks good. It runs well. Still gets updates. It's owned by Epic now, so I don't. I
It actually can be. Could be on this list as well. It's from 2015.
yeah, it might be in the list. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue.
it's still 2010. Okay,
Yeah, and we're half an hour in.
Red Dead Redemption. I played it. I didn't continue with it because it's on my Xbox, which is located at my parents, so I cannot play it. But I do know that it's a pretty good game. It really looks awesome. Um, and I know that a lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed what I played, but I didn't continue. I only played it for maybe 5 hours or so. But it's a nice game. If
I I physically didn't play Red Dead Redemption, and what I've heard about it, it's it's definitely has some sort of story. The main villain is great and all, but it has a lot of problem that Red Dead Redemption 2 basically got rid of.
yeah, but it was. it was the first they did. So
First was Red Dead Revolver, and nobody talking about Red Dead Revolver.
y- yeah, was that PlayStation 2?
I don't know. All I heard about the Red Dead Revolver that it exists.
Yeah,
That's all.
I think that's the reason. Yeah, it exists, but I don't think that was the best game. So that might be a reason for that. Okay, yeah, anyway, moving on. If you like Western and if you like GTA and want the combination, that's the closest you can get, I think. There was another game, another Western game, but I think that was before 2010. Was it Gun or something? There was
Oh
an
yeah,
that
I
came,
think it's from 2008 or something like that.
yeah, that came a few years before that. So that was pretty fun actually. And that was the main
Oh,
reason.
2005.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. But yeah, I mean that was one of the reasons why I didn't really get too much into Red Dead Redemption because I played kind of similar game years before, so I didn't have that Western itch anymore. So that was okay with Gun back then. Gun was not too bad. Okay, moving on. StarCraft 2, another one of those games that I played, but not typically a genre that I play. Yeah, it's not bad if you like
Well,
games
if
like
we're
that.
talking about StarCraft 2, then it's still a competitive game.
Oh yeah, that's it definitely it definitely
And
changed.
God have mercy on you if you will play in multiplayer was paired against South Korean player.
Yeah. If you don't have 300 if you cannot type 300 letters per minute, you're already lost. And that's from typing words. They don't type words. They type like I don't know, a few hundred times in a few seconds. That's how they play StarCraft. Like, you cannot look as fast as they freaking hit their keys. There are no letters on those keys anymore. Those caps are just blank. it's like it's like watching somebody, some professional Asian StarCraft player play StarCraft is like playing anyone who is good in Ozu play Ozu. That's just a different world. It's just that's work. That's not playing a game anymore. That's typing as fast as you think. So they already beat you by thinking. Everything that you might have in your head is already
People
gone.
not people sometimes not even think. I show I saw some kind of uh, let's just say guideline. So basically, all you need is a timer and this sheet. So basically, you starting the timer and you hitting the letters that listed on the sheet. It's like 101 hitting this combination, 106 hitting this combination, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
It's
I think that
it's
might.
just you creating a mechanical memories for you for yourself.
Yeah, if you, yeah, it's a bit like the way I play Dead Cells. Maybe you have your script in your head, basically that you play every time or try to play every time. And but I think it depends on the enemies you play in StarCraft. But yeah, I guess you can have all the stuff that you do at the beginning, like I don't know, moving stuff somewhere, starting to create units, get all the units, move them in that direction, do all that stuff. Yeah, that's you don't have to think about that anymore. Yeah, that's just pressing I don't know 200 keys in a row and you already did all that stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, crazy and it's still played. And hopefully for Blizzard, they don't. remake that game.
They remade StarCraft 1. I actually don't know why. StarCraft 1, they
Yeah, but
made it,
that
they
was
gave it away basically for free for anyone who was interested. It was still connected to Battle.net, so if you wanted to play StarCraft 1 online, you could do it officially. But right now, they smoothed the textures and said, hey, done.
yeah, but that was done a few years ago before the debacle of the Warcraft remake. Blizzard, as we
Yep.
know it from the
I
past,
think it was it happened actually 1 year before Warcraft Reforged was released or something like that.
yeah, but I don't remember bad reviews about the StarCraft remake. I don't remember that many good
People actually
ones about
people
Warcraft.
actually didn't notice it as like I think.
Yeah, but I think Blizzard, I don't know. I did see a report about the Diablo 2 remaster. That looks actually pretty good. And that's a remaster I do understand and I can sign because the original Diablo 2 is 20 years old or so. So it kind of makes sense to remake one of the best action RPGs of all times. So I
Or
do.
just send it to GOG like they did with Diablo 1.
No, no, it's a full remake. It does look similar. It keeps the original look and feel, but it looks obviously much better because let's be honest, the original Diablo you cannot play that anymore. I mean, yeah, you can, but it looks like shit. There was, and I already didn't. It was all out, for me personally back then. It was already outdated when it came out, and that's the main reason why I never played it really much. I did play it like pretty much every game that's ever came out, but I didn't stick to it. I played other games, and then I switched to Sacred, which looked much better and was basically a similar game, but it looked much better. So that was the main problem that I had with Diablo. I didn't like the look. But they keep,
Original Sacred actually was around the time of Diablo 2.
yeah, I know. That's the reason why I played that then. It had more high-res graphics and stuff, so
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a sucker for graphics. Okay,
Yeah, I get it.
well, moving on. They have PC and consoles in there as well, so yeah, we might skip over a few games. Mario Galaxy 2, fun game. I played it, still need to continue with it. Might actually do that because I have the Wii over there, which might also be one of the changes in the future that have more consoles right here, so I can actually play them. Okay, Super Meat Boy.
Mm, I can definitely say that Super Meat Boy is an interesting game. At least it's definitely a rage-inducing game, and I never played it, and I'm never going to play it.
Well, I did play it.
I definitely can say that a person who did a pretty good job, but yeah, I'm not touching this game.
Well, I did play it, but I don't know, I have a bit of an issue with the ways you control it. I don't know exactly what it is, if it's the way you jump or something. Um, yeah, but since I was reading, yeah, for precise, challenging platformers, yeah, definitely. But Super Meat Boy is a game that only a fraction of people who enjoy platformers will play or enjoy. You have to be a platform masochist to enjoy games like that.
At least it's not as sadistic as I wanna be that guy.
No, it's fair. It's at least fair in the hard shit it does. Um, be the Boshi and
Yep.
things like that, they're just unfair and they troll you. If you don't memorize the game completely 100%, you're fucked. in Meat Boy, you do see what will kill you. You see that when you start. You don't have to jump somewhere and then you're like, oh, look, hidden spike that just comes out when I land on that pixel. Yay! Let's do that whole shit
Invisible
again.
wall.
Yeah. Ooh, invisible wall above me, so I cannot jump over there. That's why I dropped down there. Yoo-hoo! Yay! Yeah, I mean, I do play some games like that every now and then, but it's. I played one of those games, and there's an achievement to die, I think 200, 300, 400 times, a few hundred times. Got that achievement in the first level. I never got
So,
out I never got out of that first level. Seriously, I never made it out of that level. The game is not on Steam anymore. Um, it's called Professor Naughty's. Wait, it has the right name. Professor Nasty Time, the stupidly unfair test simulator 2016. I played it for 2 hours, did not get out of the first fucking level. I know the developer. He's a friend now, so. But yeah, that game, holy shit. He was watching me die over and over again. But yeah, that's one of those
at
games.
least Dark Souls 1 giving you an achievement for dying first time. And
Oh,
it's like, yeah, you're gonna do that a lot.
oh yeah, you get achievements for the first time, I think, and for 500 time in that game at least. Okay, well, moving on. There were kinda, I don't know, I'm kinda missing a few games, um, or a few genres, but they're continue with that. So, okay, 2011, Batman
I don't think
Arkham's.
that it's by the genre, just by whatever came to mind.
Yeah. Arkham City. Wait, when did Arkham Asylum come out? Was it 2008 then?
Maybe 2009, but yeah, it's
Oh.
end of 2000s.
Okay. Well, yeah, Arkham City. Yeah, definitely 100%. One of the whole Batman series is one of the best action um, third-person action games out there.
At least first two.
Um, yeah, Origin.
Arkham, Arkham Knight in some extent, but Arkham Origin, nah.
Now that doesn't count into the Arkham series.
Arkham Knight canonizing Arkham Origin.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. You told me about that, but from the series itself and from the creators, it's basically Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And Origins, it doesn't even play the same way. It's from a different team, uses, I think it was a different engine. I'm not 100% sure, but if you play it, you feel 100% that's not the same Arkham game. It just feels different. And it's how much did I play that? I finished the first one. I finished the second one. Um, Origins. I
So if we're
played
talking about
17 hours of Origins.
if we're talking about Batman games, it's definitely one of the most influential games of the most influential series of the last decade.
Yeah, when it comes
Specifically, this combo system and stuff.
when it comes to brawling games, to brawler games with hand fights, yeah, definitely the new standard for hand to hand and melee fights. Yeah, definitely.
Yep, light strike, heavy strike, and stun attack,
Mm.
plus some kind of gadgets. But a lot of games just copied light attack, heavy attack, and if we're talking about this formula, it's basically the repetition of what we already saw in, well, basically from the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. But yeah,
But yeah,
if you want to have a really good superhero game, At least on PC, that's one of the best superhero games you can get. The Spider-Mans we got were meh, and a lot of other games were also meh. But yeah, if you want to
I
have a
don't
really good one,
think we'll see a lot of Spider-Man games in this list.
nah, not really. I mean, they have console games in there as well, and the Spider-Man that came out a few years ago was pretty good. It wasn't too bad on PC, but not comparable to the PlayStation version that came out. Okay, Dark Souls. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it started and actually it wasn't Dark Souls that started that genre, but uh, I-
Souls actually popularized the genre because Demon Souls was a hidden gem of PlayStation 3,
yeah,
while Dark Souls had more mass appeal and it basically was had more platforms.
yeah,
It
I read,
was released not only on PlayStation 3 but also Xbox 360 and PC.
yeah, I read about the history of the developer and Dark Souls and Demon Souls and stuff. Demon Souls nobody wanted to make, and when it came out, the critics hated it, and nobody bought it because yeah, most felt it was just too hard, and that was also one of the reasons why the hardcore community kind of started building, and then more people knew about the game and they wanted to have something more challenging, and that was basically the reason how that started. And Dark Souls, yeah,
Yep.
they wanted to make a game that's pleasing everybody outside of Japan as well, because Demon Souls mostly was a Japan game that was released in the United States then as well, but it yeah, they wanted to release that more out in the open with Dark Souls, which they did. They completely failed the release on PC, which was really really bad. They needed
I'm not saying that they completely failed it, but
oh that
locked FPS. Well, let's just say that Dark
the
Souls 1 had a lot of performance issue.
there was
While Dark Souls 2 played with 50, 60 FPS for me, Dark Souls 1, even with unlocked frames, played with 25, 30 for me.
yeah, the problem was they didn't implement DirectX, was 10 or 11 back then. I'm not sure. That wasn't fully or good implemented, but the problem was um, you couldn't change the resolution to your monitor's maximum resolution, so that was too low at the beginning. The locked FPS, yeah, that, and a modder basically fixed it, and that fix was used for a long time until they finally integrated stuff that was fixed by a modder from the community. That's so insane. But yeah, that's one of the games that was basically unplayable on release because the shit performance and let's be honest, when it came out on PC, it was never a good looking game on no platform. Never. Not one Dark Soul game looked good ever. They always
If we're
look
talking about texture quality, yes. If we're talking about art style, no.
nah, I mean the graphics in general were completely outdated.
Okay, texture quality and stuff
Yeah,
like that, yes, I can get with that.
creative monsters, creative areas and stuff, but it was lacking in so many ways. The lighting was shit. The animations were just. Oh boy, when I was playing Dark Souls the very first time, it felt like I was playing Gothic 1. And Gothic 1 is really, really an old game. So, yeah, I really wanted to play it. I really wanted to enjoy it. But Dark Souls, for me personally, from the controls and the movement and fluidity and everything is just a fucking bad game. It is just for me personally such a bad game. I cannot get into that. The third one it feels a bit better when it comes to controls and the movement and everything, but the first one I did play it for a few hours. I did kill the first boss and stuff, but oh my god, it's just an ugly game. It's no, it's ugly and it feels like nah. If I want to have a game that feels like that, I play a game from the 90s. So yeah.
Can understand you, but still, it's still again one of the most influential games of previous decade, and basically created Souls-like genre subgenre.
Yeah, that's also that's something I don't know, I'm not too happy about because there have been hard games before Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It's not like the games from the 90s were all that easy. So we had hard games already. Um, but nobody calls a hard platformer a Battletoad like, for example. Battletoad, one of the hardest platform brawler games from back in the day, which until today not really that many people can easily finish, I think. Um, but nobody calls any game a Battletoads like, you know? They're called
Yeah, I know what you're
roguelite.
talking about.
So
But if we're looking at Souls-like, well, you basically can tell what game was inspired by Dark Souls. You
yeah, but
can say which one of them is Souls-like.
it's used for way too many games these days. It doesn't matter. 2D platformer, top-down games, third-person games, FPS games. It's a Souls-like. Oh my fucking god! It's a hard FPS game. Okay, doesn't have to do anything with Dark Souls. There are no swords in there. There are no super huge, crazy bosses that take you 20 minutes if you have no idea how to fight them, to kill them, and stuff like that. To be a Souls-like game, for me personally, I would expect hard boss fights against way too big and too powerful enemies for your own good. Um, yeah, that's what I expect from a Souls-like. Big fucking boss fights that don't take just a minute, but make you sweat. And when you're done with that boss fight, you're like, "Whoa, I achieved something." That's what Dark Souls basically wants to achieve, or is the feeling that Dark Souls gives you when you finish an enemy. I know that from playing it, and I know it from watching others play it. Um, but if in
Also, let's not forget about games that claim to be Souls-like, but actually don't know what makes Dark Souls great. When they make just a one big arena or something like that, give you a big freaking boss, and tell you, have fun! We didn't balance it at all. You should just live with that.
yeah, that's a thing, just putting hard enemies in a game or bullet sponges or something. So yeah, way too many games get called a Souls-like just because they are hard. And that's something I'm not. It's the same like, oh, a game has crafting in it, and you can dig in the ground and build stuff. Oh, it's a Minecraft. It's a Minecraft clone, or Terraria is a Minecraft clone. No, it's fucking not. Terraria is its own freaking game. So is Minecraft, and yeah, I mean, that it has a lot of clones. Yeah, sure, but just because a game looks similar to some other game or plays similar doesn't mean it's the same. So, and that's a problem I have with with, you don't say about a race game, um about a fun racer, ooh, that's a Need for Speed like, or a Test Drive like, because Test Drive was one of the first arcade games out there. How many people know that today? That game, I mean, it came out a few years
But
ago, but
if a game will be like racing game will be having shit like guns and missiles in it, you can say it's like Vigilante 8 or Rock and Roll Racing.
yeah, or Carmageddon like. Or
Yeah,
oh,
actually,
oh,
exactly.
oh, it's a multiplayer
Oh,
racing game that you can play with other players. Oh, it's a Mario Kart like. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of those terms, you know. I mean, yeah, call it a freaking roguelike or roguelite. That makes sense because a lot of games use that term because that game from the 70s was a fucking hard game and the first really hardcore game with permadeath and some stuff like that. So yeah, if you're not if you don't have permadeath, it's a roguelite. If you have permadeath in the game, it's a roguelike. So Dark Souls is a roguelite basically, if you see it like
well,
that.
yes, but if we're looking at roguelite as a genre, roguelite, oh, for the most part, have generated maps. So it's not like you traveling in pre-built locations that you know every corner, every treasure, and something like that. You
Yeah,
have a lot of element of surprises.
yeah, but that's why I said it's a roguelite. Slight
Well,
difference.
roguelites still have.
But yeah, yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. Dark Souls, yeah, I guess good game. Yeah, a lot of people play it and stuff, and yeah, it's not my game. So, Marvel vs. Capcom. Now we're getting into the fighting brawler games. I didn't play that one, so it's a Street
All I
Fighter.
played,
It's a Street Fighter like.
all I played was Mortal Kombat, and the last one I played was Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom is a pixel art fighting game
Yeah,
from.
I know how it looked like and
Yeah, I'm just
what
saying that for.
exactly it is. So, oh yeah, okay.
You know, I'm mentioning that for our hundreds of viewers right now, so that they have an idea
I'm
what the game
sorry.
is about. But yeah, so fighting game like Street Fighter, basically Marvel against Capcom characters and stuff. So, all right, moving on. Portal 2, yeah, definitely. We have a lot of games in there that actually created a new genre of games, basically. Hey, Netripper, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, you're one of those 100. See, exactly. That's it. Explaining stuff for the viewers here. So yeah, Portal 2. Um, in my opinion, like they mentioned here, like any good sequel, yeah, sometimes the second part isn't as good as the first one. But Portal 2 is definitely one of the best sequels of any game series ever. It's such a fucking good game. If you didn't play Portal 2 yet, why? Where have you been? What were you doing even? Do you have a Steam account? Get fucking Portal. I mean, that's a must-have. That's one of the games that I think you must have played in your life, or at least tried it.
Agree.
This is from so many
I
points. And if you have a friend, play it in co-op. It is so fucking fun in co-op. Oh my god, I played it with a real life friend. It was fucking hilarious. Hilarious. You can do so much shit with those portals. Draw your friend and shoot him in directions and stuff like that. Oh, oops.
I
Oh, I
watched
was.
some stream. I watched recording of a stream of Portal 2, and I was like, ah, god damn it, how two people can be this dumb? Sometimes games like this can cause you a physical pain.
um, well, I never had that feeling. I mean, if I want to have physical pain in Portal 2, I think I need to play advanced custom maps. But yeah, the regular game, yeah, regular game's fine.
Yeah,
You
I
should play
glitched my
Portal
way
2.
through some of the courses in Portal 2. I'm more than sure that I finished a couple of maps, not by the way devs intended it, and by freaking accident.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Here should play Portal 2 in VR, but haven't tried that myself. Well, there is Portal Stories Mel, for example, which is also in a VR version. It's a free mod, and a friend of mine, he's really good in Portal. He was like, "Wow, that's really hard," and he played it for a few hours, and then he realized he had the setting on advanced or something like that. So he wasn't even playing the regular base maps, which are already harder in Portal Story Mel. No, he played the even the harder challenge maps in the game because yeah, I said yeah, I played it but didn't finish it, and he was like, yeah, I guess you didn't finish it because it's really really hard. So yeah, he plays a lot of hard games as well, and some games where I stopped playing it, he continues. But I also play some games he doesn't play that much or enjoys that much. So, but yeah, Portal in VR, fun. Still waiting for Portal 3, but if you that's also funny. Portal is based on a completely different game, not completely different game. It has all the same mechanics, um, but the original game was from Game Academy students, and it was called Nabacular Drop. So not that many people know about that game. You can get it; it's free, so get it. Nabacular Drop, really fun. Um, you already have the portals in there. You already have to have rocks roll through portals and stuff. And yeah, really nice game. And Valve saw that. I think Gabe saw that game somewhere or something. And yeah, they basically all work for Valve. The whole freaking team. They just hired the whole freaking team to make Portal, the original Portal, and then Portal 2, and yeah, and so on.
That's all.
Let's say the rest is history. But yeah, Portal created the genre. If you have a puzzle game that has sterile level graphics and crazy AI, it's a Portal like. Not one Portal in the game, but it's a Portal like. Hey, you have a gun, you can change something, or you have gloves, can change physics. Oh, it's a Portal like. Same with the Souls like and all that kind of shit. Just because the game is FPS and the puzzle game isn't the Portal game. But yeah, Portal, awesome game, played. Okay, um, anything you want to add to that?
It has a song.
Oh yeah, best credit song in any game I ever heard. The Portal credit song is awesome, and I mean the first one. The first one is better than the second one. Okay, moving on. Saints Row, the third. Yeah,
Um, well, it came out. Let me check this out specifically. I think it came out before GTA 4.
yeah, it came out before, but I was thinking about.
No, it came after GTA 4.
Oh really? When?
GTA 4 2008.
Oh really? Is it that old? Shit! I should
Yep.
maybe finally finish it. I I finished almost the whole. I went halfway through the game, and then I don't know. Something happened, and my save was not working anymore. My save was corrupted, so I
I
had to
don't know.
start all over
I
again.
I personally can't play GTA 4. It's so. If you can going to GTA 4 after GTA San Andreas, you basically have nothing to do in it. Not not all, not a lot side activities, not a lot other mini games, not a lot of creative and fun missions, and basically Saints Row the Third, complete opposite of that. Wacky story, a lot of arcade style missions. Again, wacky tuning, everything that GTA 4 got rid of. Saints Row the third had it.
I mean, I did like GTA for what it was. It was a bit more serious, yeah, that's true. Um, what I wasn't the biggest fan of was the main character that you play. And
Nico Bellic.
yeah, it's I just I don't know. I'm all that East European um jogging pants and stuff like that. It's I don't know. It's
Actually, yeah, I was kind of surprised as well, but I was mostly surprised not because he was wearing a generic Slav outfit. I was more offended that you couldn't get full generic Slav outfit, like um, underwear, red underwear with hammer and sickle. Um,
Naja, he was wasn't he from Yugoslavia or something?
yep.
So yeah, but I don't
No, Serbia.
or Serbia, yeah.
So yeah, he is from Soviet bloc. So they could at least made for him some wacky outfit, like, "Hey, I'm just from the Union."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad
For
game,
me,
but
it would be at least something like, "Hey, you still can have at least some kind of fun, like in previous games."
yeah.
If we're talking about GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas, I don't know. For me, GTA San Andreas have more content than GTA 5.
Yeah, mm, hmm, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you had a lot of stuff in those games and you had a ton of collectibles and stuff like that, but holy shit, GTA 5 is there's so much stuff in there that you might find out by accident or you have to
Same with GTA San Andreas.
nah, I
And if
think
we're talking about GTA San Andreas, it has three big cities. Yes, the map was physically smaller than with GTA 5, but
yeah,
it
but
had
with,
three big cities, three different areas
yeah,
filled
true,
with
but
the content.
yeah, true about that maybe, but stuff like there's some kind of a hidden mission thing in GTA 5 that has to do with UFOs. And it's a whole shit ton of freaking side missions. But if you don't do one thing in the game that triggers that, you will never ever see that by accident. So you have to do certain things. The same with the internet that you have in the game. You can I think there was a mission that has to do with the stock markets and stuff like that. I read about a few hidden missions and stuff in GTA 5 and I was like, what? Or that's the explanation for that thing that I found back then and I had no idea what to do. Or there's one mission, for example, where you have to you want to get into a cult, and for that you have to do a shit ton of stuff. Deliver a card there, buy a stupid looking, really butt ugly suit over there, donate a few thousand to that guy, and so on and so on and so on. And it ends up basically with you having to walk through the desert for 5 kilometers or something like that. Um, and yeah, you're looking for an area that still counts as desert and walk in circles. I mean, you can just walk in a direction through the desert, but as soon as you hit a spot that doesn't count as desert anymore, oh, you were walking 4.9 kilometers already? Do it again because you went out of the desert before that was over. Um, so yeah, and then you get to meet the cult leader and stuff like that. It's crazy. Hours of freaking missions that has nothing to do with the game itself. Nada. And you can only do it with Michael though. That's the only thing. But yeah, that's you have a ton of stuff in GTA 5. I played it for over 90 hours and mostly just to finish the story, but all the side quests and side missions that I was finding, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Too much to play it more than once. For me personally, I couldn't play that again. I might install it again to play it a bit more online. Maybe RPG, but I'm not that much into RPG. But that would be interesting because wow, you can do so much stuff with that game in RPG, which was not really intended for the game, like
Oh, you
lips.
mean RP?
Yeah, yeah, RP. Sorry. Um, where there's lip syncing for your in-game characters now and stuff like that. So yeah, you can really become a character in there. But I don't know, it's maybe a bit too much. Okay, anyway, moving on. Saints Row, for me personally, it was at least back then way too colorful. It was too much over the top, too much pushed comedy in
Yeah,
your face or
I
something.
I get what you're talking about. I got into series with Saints Row 4, and I feel that it's let's just say it was a little bit more stable than Saints Row 3 when it comes to wacky shit. But yeah, I definitely applaud it for being at least some kind of arcade, well, chaotic fun, unlike GTA 4.
Yeah, definitely. It was not a serious game that took itself serious or anything. I mean, you had a huge freaking dildo as a weapon and stuff like that. I mean, that game is not taking itself serious from the beginning to the naming of the DLCs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's something that I actually like about that. The over the top, crazy, stupid shit that they just went with it the whole way all the time. It's all over the top. You have the devil in the game and shit like that.
RIP developer.
So yeah, wasn't it?
Uh, what?
I have the second one and I have the third one. Um, I played the third one for 16 hours. I know. I mean, I remember I played it, but 16 hours? Hmm. I mean, okay, it's 8 years since I played it, but I don't remember shit about it. I remember it was colorful, not as colorful as the other one. The second one was even crazier with all the colors. Um,
No, third one actually most stupid of all of them.
yeah,
Second was more grounded than third and the first,
okay.
fourth.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I didn't continue to play it, I really hate when somebody tells me as a grown up that I have to play a low violence version of a game like that where I can play other
Really?
super. Yeah, yeah. This is one of the games that I cannot play. I mean, now I might be, but back then, yeah, low violence German low violence version is only available in German and English. I don't care for that shit, but yeah, it's a cut version. I played other games that were uncut, so but the problem with oh no, it actually has a rating. Um, there is something about the censorship in there, but yeah, I'm in general not a fan of games that I have to play in a cut version, so I guess that was one of the main reasons. And I think I switched to another game. I had nothing else and I wanted to play it because a lot of people enjoyed it, so I tried it. Zombies and green blood. No, we don't have green blood for a long time. There,
Green blood, I think, is in China still.
yeah, we
In
had
Dota 2, for example.
we had stuff like that. Yeah, but the problem is cultural that blood in China is was that China where blood is seen as unclean or something like that. So it has less to do with the gore or anything like that. But yeah, Carmageddon, no, Carmageddon is the problem. So the general rule for censorship in Germany is violence, unneeded um, unneeded violence against human characters, for example. So um, when your main gameplay or the main reason for the game is killing humans in the most horrific ways, like in Carmageddon, there is no way that one of the people walking around is getting away from your car. They changed that, for example, I think it was GTA 4 or something, where you still could drive over people, but you couldn't kill them. They dropped money or something, but they didn't die. In the uncut version, yeah, you drive over somebody for one or two times and that person is dead. Realistic. But yeah, that's stuff. If it's too realistic and if they're too human, then that might be cut, or you get an 18 or no age verification at all, not verification, age restriction. So, but the last few years, yeah, we don't really have that many cut games anymore, really. I mean, times change and kids run around with freaking smartphones watching anything on their freaking phone with, I don't know, 9 or 10 years. So it's easier now as an adult to play the games as they were intended to be played. But games like um, Manhunt, for example, yeah, no, that stuff's not gonna happen. But those games get censored or restricted in other countries as well. So it's not like Germany is the only country doing censorship. We don't have any censoring for drug use in a game, for example. Australia, if you have a game that promotes or has as main thing in the game that you have to use a drug, for example, or when a drug gives you extra points or something, it's a no-go. That's a no-go in Australia. Australia is totally 100% against drugs in games, as far as I know. So it can be violent until a point, but if that's too much, that might also be a reason for Australia to get cuts. When it comes to sex, Asian countries are a bit restrictive, so some cutscenes are altered for Japan or China that we have uncut and they don't. Although you have hentai games there. Yeah, well, anyway. Okay, let's get back. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. Okay, we talked about that earlier. Terraria, yeah, definitely. It's they just released a huge update. Was it 2019 and the second part of it last year or so? Still for that game, after over 10 years, it still gets content. Hundreds of items. This is so insane. A new game mode. That game got everything over the last 10, 11 years. One of the best games of all times in my eyes. In my opinion.
And unlike Minecraft, it's actually cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper. I mean, Minecraft started with, I think it was $5 or so. I got it for 5 or 7, or I don't know. I got it in one of the early alpha versions back then. I should have, I, you know, looking back at it, I should have started freaking Minecraft YouTube back then. But I didn't expect people to. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was mostly, but I didn't expect that it would go off like that. Well, stupid decision. I could be partnered Twitch streamer by now. Yeah, true thing. Most of the big YouTubers or Twitch streamers started with Minecraft. but I'm just too much of a variety gamer. I enjoy too many games. I cannot stick to one game. It's like I know people who eat exactly the same stuff every single weekend. No, it's no. I need some variety. I mean, it's different when I was married. Yeah, one wife was enough. I mean, that's the reason to marry. But with games, hey, there are so many out there that I want to see, and so many stories I want to enjoy and stuff. So, yeah, well, it's not the only fail that I did in my life. Looking back at it now, I'm like, that wasn't the brightest decision. Marrying was one of them. Yeah, well.
Don't scare kids.
Been there, done that. Okay,
Specifically me.
yeah, I mean, it can work out. I was. It depends on your age. I think I should have waited, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes you should listen to your parents. You didn't hear that, mom. All right. So yeah, Terraria, awesome game. If you didn't play that game yet, and there's only a little bit in it that you could enjoy, like the platforming part of the game, try it. Give it a try. This game is freaking awesome.
I agree.
And you can get easier into the game now than it used to be back in the day, because you also have some kind of a tutorial and quest, and you have characters now that can help you and stuff. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Also a game I need to finish. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Well, that's I
I
think
think it's all what we need to say about it. It's Skyrim. It
yeah,
was released re-released more times than anything else.
yeah. If I would have to think about a game that's released basically on a toaster, on basically any console or anything, there are two games that come to mind for me personally. One is
Doom?
Skyrim, which is a bit newer, and the other one is Doom. Those two games are definitely. I think there are no other games released. I mean, Skyrim is the officially released game on most platforms and consoles and game systems, I think. But unofficially, it's definitely Doom. They released Doom on seriously anything from a
Somebody ported Doom to a pregnancy test.
what? How?
Yeah,
How? What?
Raspberry Pi and two jumping wires um, making can make stuff work.
Holy fuck! But yeah, I've seen it on a calculator and stuff like that. Even I think there's even a homebrew on the Game Boy and stuff like that. So yeah, Doom was everywhere. Doom
Doom's
was
still everywhere.
this
There,
is
there is a slight chance that if you'll take a smartwatch and uh, power them on, you'll see Doom.
yeah. I mean it would run sure. I mean hello. Just you just have to move like this. And how do you shoot? You hit your watch, right? So what? Oh, okay, missed. Playing it is a whole different stuff. I mean, it runs on everything. If you can play it on everything, that's a whole different story. I buy a retro magazine as well, and there's also some old stuff in there where they find games or find consoles and new ways to play old games on stuff. Crazy. Somebody found an external hardware that was supposed to make the Game Boy a workstation. You
What?
Yeah, you had a keyboard this size, basically a bit slimmer and a bit wider than the Game Boy's original size, so it was relatively thick, and it had single keys looked basically a bit like those keys, like those single caps, not really that close together. It looked really
Mm-hmm.
like Game Boy hardware, and there was a picture of something like what was that? A bit like, was it a Word program or Excel or something? And they only had one picture in there. There was one guy who found that hardware. It's a prototype, never released. He f- he got it working, made a video about it and stuff like that. Crazy. And they found a working um, tech demo. Actually, they made it work of a Simpson game on a Dreamcast dev kit. On a disc of a broken Dreamcast dev kit. They found a tech demo for a third-person Super Mario game, which looks really good. And the community kind of figured out how to make that thing that was never released workable. What the fuck is going on? Seriously. So yeah, I think maybe 10 or 20 years from now there will be Skyrim on a freaking, I don't know what, on a vape or something, or Doom on a vape, or I don't know what other shit electronics they come up to put games on.
I'm already on pregnancy test.
I mean,
What else do you need?
fuck, seriously. Okay, yes, Skyrim, I still need to play that. Okay, moving on to 2012, and I think we might only get through this freaking list and be done because we're already streaming for 1.5 hours.
Yep.
Comes from not getting distracted. Animal Crossing, yeah, I sold that back then for the 3DS, but it, it's not a game for me. So
I never played Animal Crossing. I didn't own Nintendo consoles beyond NES knockoff.
yeah, I don't know. It's not a game for me. So what else do I want to say? I know it wasn't a bad game and people enjoyed it. Kids enjoyed it back then. I sold it a lot, but yeah, it's not my game. All right, Borderlands 2. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today. Um, if you would ask me about the best co-op looter game or loot shooter, which Borderlands kinda created the genre, it's definitely Borderlands 2. For me personally, one of the most fun single player shooter games of the last 10 years. Definitely. Story wise, the characters in it, the replayability that you have with the different classes, playing with friends, with working co op, the whole story from the beginning to the end, which is something not that many games pull off at all or good. And Borderlands is definitely, if you want to play a single player story with friends from the start to the end, Borderlands. There's no other game. It's Borderlands.
Mm. For me, Borderlands 2 is basically Handsome Jack. And Handsome Jack is good as a villain. I definitely like his psychotic nature.
Yeah, when it comes to that, yeah, definitely.
Well, maybe Claptrap a little bit, but mostly Handsome Jack.
Yeah, Claptrap is I mean, you just have to love him. I mean, Claptrap is awesome, and that's actually the only thing that I enjoyed in the pre-sequel. And you could play as, no, it was not Claptrap. I think it was Death Trap or something. I don't know, some kind of a robot. That was really funny. The first time you came up to stairs, that was hilarious. I almost pissed my pants because yeah, you're a freaking robot rolling around on one freaking wheel, and you come up to stairs. That situation was hilarious. The rest of pre-sequel is pure garbage. It looks good, but the rest is shit. The story is not enjoyable. No offense to Australian developers, but having everybody talk in a freaking Australian accent, and some are really hardcore Australian accents. Don't get me wrong, I do like Australians and all, and I don't mind the accent, but the whole game, nah, that was a bit too much maybe. And the gravity and oxygen stuff, okay, I didn't care about the oxygen because I played Claptrap for that reason, not to rely on oxygen. But no, not an enjoyable game. Second one, good. Pre-sequel, not a Borderlands. Pre-sequel is as much a Borderlands game as Batman Arkham Origins is not an Arkham game, basically. It has the name in it, but that's it. For me. My opinion. Screw you with your opinion. Just kidding.
Moving on.
Alright. Diablo 3. Some love it, some hate it. If you were a huge fan of 1 and 2, you might not enjoy it too much. I had fun. I liked
As
it.
far as I heard about it, Diablo 3 at the start was a little bit crappy, especially because of auction system.
Yeah, that was the one thing. The release was also one of those releases where you wish that a company that big would activate more servers when a few thousand people who were waiting for the game for a month want to play the game when they bought it days before as pre-order box, for example. And they couldn't play because of error 43 or something. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, logging in on day one was basically impossible. I know, I tried. But yeah, I didn't mind,
It's
so.
funny that most of the games, especially services, have the same problem today.
Yeah, like I said, you should think that a company that big with a ton of servers running already, I mean, Blizzard could just say, okay, from the few hundred World of Warcraft servers we have, we just take a bunch just for that day. World of Warcraft users won't recognize it too much because half of them will want to play Diablo at that day. So they don't fucking care for login problems in World of Warcraft. Let's make sure that a new released game will have no login issues. I mean, sure, if you have a problem because of a glitch or a bug that prevents people to get in, that's one thing. But if you don't have enough servers to serve them all, yeah, you kinda failed with your job when you created a game that's relying on internet always on, even if you're playing
Yep,
single player. So
definitely.
they should, if there's an offline mode included in a game, fine. What there was a game I started a few days ago. You can play totally fine, but you miss a few functions. It just tells you, yeah, some unlocks or something like that you won't get because the game has no way to see if you actually achieve that now. So yeah, you can play it offline, but as soon as you click on online and you have internet, you are connected and stay connected. But if you're not, well, you just play single player games on your freaking PC anyway. And the stuff that you need from online, yeah, you get later when stuff is synced or so. But yeah, if you have a single player game that needs internet, it's already shit. So people already hated that idea at the beginning, and yeah, well, they
They
were.
still continue with it.
Yeah, sure. Most games these days, which can be played in single player, as soon as you have a little bit of multiplayer included, it's just on always on. I mean, I don't mind, you don't mind. We both have internet without
I
any.
still mind.
Yeah, I mean, you have internet, I have internet, but other people either have no internet at all or have metered internet, which means they only can download 20 gigabytes or something like that per month. And if you have day
I
one,
mean, you not always have an internet. Sometimes there is some kind of break or something like that.
yeah,
Emergency or something like that, that your internet just doesn't work. And you're looking at the shit that is always online and he's saying you, hey, fuck you.
yeah, I mean, even I sometimes have no internet when they rip out a cable or some shit like that. Um, but in general, I don't care if I'm always on anyway. As soon as I start my PC, I'm online. I'm doing most of the stuff online. So I personally don't care if a game wants to be online all the time. I start caring about shit like that when a game which could be played on your disk needs servers that get deactivated at one point. That's a problem. Um,
Yep, that as well.
so then you have to rely to hacks or private servers or whatnot, and then you don't know exactly is everything safe and fine over there. So I don't know a game right now out of my head, but yeah, that can be a problem for games that you
Fable 3.
yeah.
It died with Microsoft games for Windows Live.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean there are workarounds for that. Some developers actually changed um, or patched the games so you don't need that anymore. Um,
Like original Dark Souls,
did
GTA 4.
did Dark Souls need games for Windows Live on PC?
It needed it. Right now, it's related.
Hmm.
Right now, it's Steam based, but it used to be games for Windows Live based.
Really, I don't remember that. Hmm. I know one game that I always had issues, but I bought it by now on Steam since I was able to get it uncut now. Even though I have the uncut version here, and EA Origin said, "Oh, uncut key. Well, you're in Germany." Anyway, that was Bulletstorm. It's actually I still need to I still need to put it where it belongs. I showed it a few weeks ago, so yeah, it's the original. Yeah, I even have the limited edition. Fucking hell! And yeah, and then they cut it. Those son of a... Anyway, yeah, that's one of the games
So
that I remember I had problems with Windows Live.
I'm going to tell about Diablo 3 in a specific way. Diablo 3 bad. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls good.
Yeah, well, again, I was one of those people who played Diablo 1 and 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of them, so I didn't mind about Diablo 3. It looked much better, it played much better. It was fun for what it was, and I didn't compare it to the second one, so I guess I was fine. Okay, yeah, moving on. Oops. Yeah, that's also a game I was thinking about today.
Oh, yeah, Far Cry 3. I kind of forgot about it. Well, it's kind of hard to remember every Far Cry, specifically when they released it pretty frequently, and most of them copy Far Cry 3.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Far Cry 3, great game. Great game. Really crazy antagonists in there. Story is pretty good until the end. I hated the ending.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I can't call this story good, but I can call it competent. Unlike story in Far Cry 5, where it's whole of the level of lunacy, and are you freaking kidding me?
yeah, there are a few things that they did in 5 that I'm already not a fan of since I was playing pretty much every Far Cry game. Um, what they changed in number 5, um, in the older ones you can have an active mission, go in that area, see don't want to do that right now, and you can leave that area and come back later. It's an open world game, right? So every Far Cry game is an open world game. Far Cry 5
It
kind of,
forces you into story missions.
yeah, if you're in that area, so The open world gets
No, if you're not even there, if you did some kind of side issue, side shit, and you filled obligatory meet, you're going to be forced into a story mission, even if you don't want to.
that's even worse than the stuff that actually is not enjoyable for me in an open world game that kind of restricts you to a mission area. So yeah, 5 I will not play, I think. And 6, I hope they change that again. Otherwise, Far Cry for me personally is dead. Yeah, I just remembered that I did finish Far Cry 3. I did almost finish Blood Dragon, but there's one mission at the end in Blood Dragon I cannot do.
Well, Blood Dragon actually
I pl-
harder than Far Cry
yeah,
3 original.
it is harder, and I could do the whole freaking game. Um, and then there's something at the end, the very last mission. And I still need to play that, but the very last mission, for some reason, you only have a freaking desert eagle, and they're spawning so many enemies. You're in a small, tight area, and there are coming so many enemies. They climb out of the ground. I don't know, from the side or so, and you're there with a fucking desert eagle. You can get some ammo, but you get hit all the time from those enemies. I tried it 5 or 6 times, then I gave up. I just gave up.
Okay.
But Blood Dragon also, that's a game where I want to see part 2. Blood Dragon was fucking fun. That's that was also one of the best shooters of the last 10 years I played. So much fun. By far the most fun and good tutorial in any shooter that I ever played. I the first 20 minutes of Blood Dragon are just hilarious. The tutorial. I
I
never had
agree.
so much fun and enjoyed the tutorial more than I enjoyed it in Blood Dragon. Hilarious. So over the top and cliche and in your face 80s action movie shit and everything. It's awesome. It's just awesome. You can't
Yeah.
ju- you can't jump at the beginning. You try to jump, it's just not working, and then you get to jump. You're allowed to jump. It's it's hilarious. If you don't play the game, play the tutorial. You can end the game after that. The tutorial is by far insanely good. Seriously. So yeah, Far Cry 3. The story is mostly good because of those crazy people. The end is also pretty good, but yeah, talking about the end is basically spoilering the whole story, so you have to see that.
Yeah.
And there are boobs in the game. Nicely modeled, by the way.
The
Just saying.
next reason to play it.
Yeah, if you want to see, was it his sister?
Yep.
The sister of the bad guy. Yeah, she's running around bare naked, basically. So yeah, but great game, great shooter, awesome stuff that you can do with the environment and stuff. Okay, moving on.
The only problem is it's predates all modern Far Cries. And if you played even one of those, you basically played everything of any other of those. Far Cry 3 might be a little bit rough if you're coming from Far Cry 5 back then.
Yeah, I mean some games get more casual with new versions sometimes to please new audiences or be better playable
Uh,
with a controller, for example, and that
I'm
sometimes,
gonna say a cursed word, inclusive.
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of games from back in the day that you could not release today anymore. They would be way too hard for the majority of players these days. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, sometimes, you know, back in the day, there was no there was no health bar that was replenishing itself. No, you had no health pack lying around. You're fucked. Um, Ammo, you didn't find ammo, well, then take another weapon or take your fists or
You
something.
take 3 hits. Too bad you that there is no continue in this game. Bye, sucker.
Yeah, start at the beginning. That's something that Doom does a little bit with their checkpoint system where you cannot save anymore. So it's not that extremely punishing, but yeah, after a while and when you die and then you have to do all that stuff again and the checkpoints in Doom Eternal, for example, in Doom from 2016 it was already kind of punishing sometimes, but in Eternal the checkpoints are sometimes hell. They're Doom. They're
Eh,
definitely Doom. I had two checkpoints where I ended up having ammo for one of the 3 or 4 weapons that I had. For one weapon, I
how
had
did you end up with empty weapons? You have
uh
chainsaw. You have a lot of zombies.
yeah, chainsaw with fuel for one attack. I had 50
You have a
bullets.
lot of zombies.
That no, because I cleaned all that area, and when that area was cleaned, I had 25% of my health and almost no ammo. The checkpoint saved there, and then I got into the next area where I was greeted by one of those big guys with the, those scorpion-like enemies. I don't know the name right now. They
Yeah,
shoot at
yeah,
you
I
and
know.
shit, and
Alright.
they're huge. And if you have no weapon, well, you're fucked. And there was an area where that guy was there, and almost no small enemies that I could kill to get glory kills and get either health or ammo from that. I had to play that for 5 times or so until it, it was basically like playing a puzzle. I had to figure out where he is going, so I knew where I could go to get in there. It was hardcore, and just because the checkpoint saved at a time where I was so low on everything, and if you die, you're not revived with 100%. No, you're revived with what the game saved for you. So it's not like, yeah, I tried the first time. If it's not working, I tried with 100% afterwards. No, no, no. Doom Eternal is not a game like that. You have no energy, you
All you
fucking.
need is one grenade, and he's basically a little bit less threatening.
Yeah, but again, if you don't have anything left, there is nothing you can do. You can.
I don't know. Don't remember. So is this particular
you can
one?
you can punch that big guy. But yeah, I had it twice that the checkpoints fucked me pretty hard.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I,
No coffee, no date, no, just right to the point. Bam! Bend over.
hey, at least it's not Hell Knight.
Yeah, well,
Being
yeah.
stuck in a room with one of those is definitely a whole different story. Or Cyber Demon.
Yeah, well, they at least you can't get away from them. The other fucker is shooting at you. It's one thing to be able to flee from somebody and get in places. It's a whole different thing if somebody is first following you and second shooting with freaking mini guns at you while you're running, trying to run away. Anyway, Doom comes up later in the list that we are 20 or 30% through. Okay, Fez.
Yes, I didn't play it, but I definitely like the idea.
You didn't play? Oh, that's definitely a puzzle game um that you should play actually. It's a really great game. The art style is fun. The puzzles are good and also challenging. Um, and if you like in-game languages, like in Commander Keen had its own language back then, Fez has a whole freaking language in there that you can learn in the game. Takes a bit, I think, but yeah, everything that you can see there, the symbols and all that stuff where you think it's hieroglyphs or something, it's all text. If you know what that means, you can read stuff that people like me don't read. So I have to go to Wikipedia instead. But yeah, Fez really great game. There's some controversy about the developer and stuff. Might want to Google that. But yeah, the game itself, great game, great art style. I enjoyed it. It's one of the games I actually finished. Okay, moving on. Fire Emblem Awakening. Um, yeah, it was for the 3DS. I know it. I sold it. I tried it, but that's basically it.
Well, all I know about Fire Emblem, it's that's supposed to be a tactical RPG. That's it.
Yeah, it's a JRPG, like Secrets of Mana and stuff like that. Also that kind of style. So if you like those games, yeah. Okay, moving on. Yeah, well, that's definitely not fitting that picture. I was like, huh? FTL, Faster Than Light. Roguelite.
Roguelike, actually.
Oh yeah, roguelike. Yeah,
With
it's
permadeath.
yeah. You're dead. You're dead. It's done, and you start over completely. It's a space game where you actually try to survive in your ship, and you attack other ships attack you. You try to survive that, and yeah, you basically try to get from point A on the left side. Was it on the left side? Anyway,
Yep.
you have to
From
go,
left to right.
yeah, from left to right through a star map where you have to go to a few points, and some you can skip, and you basically try to get out of that galaxy before the shock wave or the supernova or something hits you.
No, you flinked from rebellions, from rebels back to Federation to say them, "Hey, we got a rebel split on doorstep."
But
And
wasn't
basically, when you're getting back to Federation, they was like, "Hey, you basically came with those rebel split."
but wasn't there something on that star map where you, when you were not fast enough going to the next points, you would die?
Yeah, you basically got cut by the same rebel fleet that you tried to escape from.
Oh, so that's representing the fleet basically. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I just know that there was something on the star map that showed you that. Oh, there's not one screenshot of the star map. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Well, anyway, I played it. How much did I play it actually? 3.5 hours. Yeah,
Yeah, basically have a similar playtime with this game.
it is hardcore. I mean, it's you survive one attack and your freaking, I don't know, engine room is burning or so, and then you try to get the fire out, and one person dies while trying it, and it's, if you're up for punishment in a game, get FTL. That's definitely, you get punished the whole time. Every decision is basically the wrong decision. I have no idea how people can finish that game. Seriously, I just suck too much
And
in it.
it's less hardcore than any actual roguelike, like Adam Dwarf Fortress, and something like that.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's hardcore. If you want to have a
It's
hardcore game.
hardcore, but it's easy to pick up and easy to get into.
Oh yeah, yeah, that definitely. And the art style is okay for what it is. I mean, it's top down, but looks fine. It's also not that expensive. I think it's $10, so not that bad. Okay, moving on.
Itinerary, it's $10 as well.
All right, Hotline Miami, another top-down game, a really bloody one. Um,
Bloody and hardcore.
yeah,
I finished it.
you finished it?
Yep.
Okay, no, I didn't.
And I do remember that I finished it with a freaking controller. Right now, I don't have an idea how I I can't play it with a controller.
Yeah, that's actually a game I might be able to play with a controller. Yeah. You go into a room, you have to aim in a direction, hit a button, kill somebody. In the best way, hopefully. Hotline
Right,
Miami,
well, for
it's
me, Hotline Miami mostly a puzzle game than
oh yeah,
any other anything else.
it is basically a puzzle game. A lot of roguelike and roguelite games are kinda puzzle games because you do have to be a bit tactical at points. And yeah, Hotline Miami, it depends in what room you go first, for example, how you go in a
What
room.
room you go first, how you go, who you will trigger, who will not get triggered, which of those enemies have guns, which of them having a melee weapons, and stuff like that. Is there dogs?
Yeah, yeah,
How many
yes,
windows there?
yeah, stuff like that.
And
So
stuff like that.
yeah, it's basically the way I play Cyberpunk is kind of like I played or like I would play Hotline Miami as well. Yeah, it's basically a puzzle game. Yeah, and I play Cyberpunk as well, like a puzzle game, trying to figure out who I take out first, who do I get to another point, and who do I drop something on the head so another one will not see that and stuff like that. Yeah, Hotline Miami. Yeah, it's definitely a puzzle game when you see it like that. I should maybe continue. I only have 1.5 hours in it.
Also, what I can say positive about Hotline in Miami is an art style.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely a good neon art style. Story makes zero sense, even if you finish it with epilogue, but still.
wait, there's story in it.
And I think there is something that wanted to be called a story.
Wants to be a story. Yeah, in some games I personally don't need a story. Hotline Miami is one of those. Give me a reason, like I don't know, some bad guy killed your family. You have to find him. Okay, that's enough reason for me to go to all the houses from the bad guys and kill every bad guy the most horrific way. Get to the big guy at the end. That's enough story I need in a game like that. I don't need nice conversations and stuff like that. Action, bam.
And it doesn't have nice conversations.
Yeah,
So
same.
yeah, basically, this game heavy colors.
Okay, moving on. So yeah, Hotline Miami. Yeah, not a bad game. Next game, Mark of the Ninja. I still need to finish that. I picked it up several times in the original version and in the remaster, which I got a few years ago. Um, I do enjoy it, but for some reason I played for a few hours, then I play something else and don't return to this one. But it's a good game. It's a stealth game. It's also more puzzle game than anything else because you also have to see and wait for enemies to go their guarding way, for example. Um, take care of lights that can shine your way, for example, and things like that. It's a good game. Really nice art style as well.
Yep, definitely. And
So
again, I didn't play it.
yeah, it's definitely if you're into those action platform stealth kind of games. I mean, you can play it with more action and less stealth, but it makes sense to play it mostly as a stealth game. Then it's definitely a great game.
You know, when I hear about ninja platformer, I definitely remember stuff like Shinobi 3 and Strider. So yeah, Mark of the Ninja is a little bit out of this camp.
No, Strider is more action and much harder.
Yep, and Shinobi 3 as well is pure action.
Yeah. So Yeah, if you try to play Mark of the Ninja that way, you will not get far because enemies do have guns and stuff. You do have you do have shuriken and katana and things like that, but the bullet is just faster than you, so yeah, you cannot be Rambo like.
Shocking.
Yeah, yeah, insane. I know. Who would have thought? Okay, so yeah, good game. If you're more into that puzzle stealthy kind of game, great game. Looks really great. Okay, moving on. Pokemon Black and White. I have no fucking idea.
I have an idea about Black and White 2, but I have an idea about Black and White 2 and not Pokemon Black and White 2.
Yeah, yeah. Black. At first, I was like, oh, wait, Black and White 2. Was that not earlier than that? Yeah. Then I read Pokemon. And I was like, oh, okay. I cannot say anything about that. So I sold it.
Well, it's a Pokemon game.
I had still sold Nintendo stuff back then, so it was actually. I think that was the last year I did that because that was also the year I kicked my ex out, and then I didn't work for Nintendo anymore. So anyway, um, not related to each other, by the way. But yeah, Pokemon. I think. th- I mean, if you enjoy Pokemon, if you enjoy one Pokemon, every other Pokemon that comes out later, you will enjoy as well, I guess. I mean, there's not much that Pokemon ever changed in any of their games. There are Pokemon you have
I
to
think
collect.
they changed a lot recently with new ways
Yeah,
of evaluation and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't comment on that because I only heard about it, but I didn't research about that. So I can't tell how it's exactly different, why it's exactly different, or why should I care about Pokemon that look like an ice cream.
the one main reason or the one main change I think is that it's not 2D anymore. It's 3D third person kind of game, and before that as well it was just JRPG top down kinda kinda. It was old school looking like the original Zelda or something like that. So um,
It's still JRPG, so
yeah, it is, but it's not it at least the point of view and the technology to represent and render the game changed. But
definitely.
until the Switch version, they were all basically they looked like the original from the Game Boy, from the main general look. You know what I mean? The fights
We're
were all
talking
the
about
same,
3DS
and
one right now.
hmm?
We're talking about 3DS version right now.
Yeah, yeah. But the 3DS
Those
version,
ch-
they only
those
had
changes already appeared in 3DS. Oh, even in DS.
yeah, but in the fights you had arenas, but in the regular game, as far as I remember, was still your regular JRPG style that you know, like I don't know, Secret of Mana or stuff like that. I'm not
Hmm.
sure actually. Confusing me.
Okay, next.
Now I have to check that now. No picture. God damn it. Okay, you know what? Wait.
It's actually black and white too.
Yeah, no, I just saw it here. Um, what? Why is there no freaking? Damn it. I want a picture now. I want pictures.
We're on a side quest
Oh,
right now.
that was actually already like that. Okay. Yeah, then that was basically the first that introduced that. All right. I thought that was on the Switch first. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a Pokemon player. I sold it, but I sold most Pokemon games actually. Yeah, pretty much up until the 3DS version. I sold them all. Books and stuff. I still have I have some Pokemon on my 3DS actually that you cannot get any other way. You could get them from somebody like me working for Nintendo, but the thing that you could do in the past, walk past somebody and 3DS communicated with each other. I think they got rid of that, so that's not working anymore. So anyway, Pokemon. Yeah, well, Pokemon is Pokemon. Moving on. Spec Ops: The Line. Yeah. Did you play that?
By the look of it and by gameplay, just a generic military shooter. But by the story, by presentation, by the characters, it's so fucking good.
It is good and it is fucking hard. It's a hard game where not just the fights are hard, you also that's one of the games where you actually have to do hardcore decisions. You really decide who will live and who will die in some scenes. And yeah, you basically have to choose who a terrorist will kill next. Stuff like that. And I didn't finish it, but yeah,
I
it's
finished it. I already. No, I still need to finish one third of the game on the highest difficulty to get the last achievement from this game.
okay. Yeah, I think I'm two-thirds in the game or so, and I was stuck in an area. I tried it for quite a while, and no matter how, I mean, I did get further and further, but I only had a handgun, and I got swarmed by I think 6 or 7 guys with MP5s and freaking rifles and stuff. And I have a freaking I don't know what you have a command
Desert Eagle.
or Desert Eagle. Yeah, you have a Desert Eagle or something like that. And there was no way. There was always one guy headshotting me at the end or something. And yeah, nah, that was.
Yeah, I know what moment you're talking about, but there will be a lot more hardcore moments.
Yay! Woo! Yeah, that sequence felt kinda unfair. It was not just like it's hard, but uh, it
Yeah,
was
it is
just
unfair,
too much.
especially when they giving to you less and less ammo with
Yeah,
higher difficulty skill.
yeah,
But
and then you have to run to somebody you just shot 5 meters away from you. Yeah, wouldn't be that much of a problem if not 10 meters away, two guys storm into a freaking door on the way to the freaking gun. Oh, hey, I'm dead again. Yay, let's try it again. And there was no way to.
that's why you're always waiting for them to get closer.
Yeah, but uh, I the close quarter takedown or whatever you had in the game, that was one of the problems I had. I think it
You
was.
don't need to use that shit. You only need to get them closer and boom, boom.
Yeah, it's just. I might try it again because I really want to play it because of the story and the hard decision and stuff. And it's not that long, so it's not like it's a 15-hour game or so. But yeah,
At
they,
least 9 hours, if I think correctly.
yeah, I think something like this. They have a good part in here that fits pretty well. Spec Ops took us to darker places even than No Russian and kept us there for longer stretches of time. A game willing to ask, where's the line? And that's the thing. It was a bit controversial because you had to decide if that guy or if that woman is dying. And yeah, you had to live with your decision because
Well,
you.
there is one gameplay moment that basically game forcing you to make, and even if you, by knowing how it will end up, try not to do that thing, game will do like, oops, you still did it.
Okay, yeah, maybe. There was something like that in No Russian as well, I think, where you can.
No, in no Russian you cannot shoot at all. You still will be shot.
Yeah. But while you're playing it, you can decide if you shoot civilians. You can kill
Yep.
people. If you don't, well, you don't. But yeah, the outcome is the same basically. Hey Tina, welcome. How are you doing? So yeah, it goes in the same direction when it comes to being controversial. But yeah, you war will always be war, right? So
Well, basically, Spets of the Line is a representation of war will never change.
yeah, definitely. It's not
So,
your Hollywood action movie kind of stuff. So yeah, that's definitely a grown-up game. That's a game definitely
well,
not suitable for
it's
kids.
still Hollywood style because you just three people shooting everyone else.
Yeah, you're American Master Patriot. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I did see a trailer for a game that is supposed to come out soon, and that's a bit too much. It's I watched somebody um, who streamed watching the trailer and commenting about it, and somebody retweeted that basically like, "Hey, here, watch this, so you don't have to watch it on your stream or anything." And some army, I don't know, sergeant or something, um, says something. I mean, that might have been like that in the past as well, but he's like, no matter what, the first person who storms into a house from a squad is always right. So if that person who storms into the broken door shoots for people in there because he thinks his life is in danger, it doesn't matter if that's a family eating on a table having spoons in their hand. He's right, no matter what. There's a rule that says the first one who goes in is always right. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I wouldn't play that game. And I mean, I didn't play really a lot of military games lately anyway. But that's so high fucking US Army propaganda. They can go fuck themselves with that game. Seriously. Even if I would get paid for that game, I would not play that. Go in and no matter what, the first one is right. What the fucking hell? You kill a bunch of kids and you're right? Yeah, you're not right. You should get a freaking bullet through your brain. That's the right thing to do in that moment. When I heard that, yeah, first one is right. Oh no, fuck that shit. No. I mean, no. It's one thing if you're forced by terrorists to go with them.
And Russians are bloody barbarians.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we shouldn't go too much into that. That's just as a thing from a new game. That's so hard. That's the worst shit I heard in combination of a game or a military action ever. If that's how the military works in areas like that where you have civilians, wow, holy shit,
You
what?
know what they say about American laws. Any crime that committed not on American land is not an American jurisdiction, and we don't care.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that's definitely not right, but that's just so over the top. I mean,
So yeah, it basically must can be how they operate.
yeah, it's one thing if you think about, yeah, that's maybe how they see that. But if that's a general rule they teach you basically, I mean, hey, if there are assholes out there, right? So every moment they're allowed to kill somebody, they might be happy about that. I mean, not everybody is psychologically okay to be close to weapons. And no offense, but a lot in the army, no matter what military on this planet, at one point you have to be kinda nuts because killing people as your job is, uh, yeah, hardcore, and not everybody can go to bed and just sleep, but there will be and there are people who will be happy to have that rule. They're like, hey, yeah, give me another extra magazine. Come on, let me be the first one. I don't care. Give me a second bulletproof vest. I don't care. Let me go in. I'm right. I'm number one. There will be people like that who will be happy about that rule. They're like, hey,
Yeah,
okay, no
that's
matter
why we
what.
have
So
that's why we have a medical expertise before we granting people weapons,
yeah,
even soldiers.
yeah, there are
And
checks, but
if we're talking about stuff like first one in is right, then I'm definitely going to mention that thing. Uh, Russian border is freaking huge. You know that.
yep,
And it's not like in between two areas you have no walking zone. Russia have official checkpoints when you can get into through the Russian border, but when you're trying to get into Russia without going to checkpoint, you're going to be shot without a question.
yeah. I mean that's
If your patrol will see some kind of movement, they don't know if it's who you are. Other military, specifically not Russian military, civilian, no matter who you are already at place that when you should not be. You are basically have a dead man walking face.
yeah.
You're going to be shot, and then people will ask questions. And those questions would be like, why the fuck are you here and know how we should punish person who killed you?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what a border should be like. I mean, if you're like, hey, I have a border here, I have a wall or whatever, I don't want anybody to come in here, and everybody knows that. Yeah, if you know you will get shot, I mean, East Germany back then they shot you when you wanted to leave that country, whole different story. But yeah, you knew that. I mean, if there's a normally, or at least some borders are like that, you have an area where there is absolutely nothing growing. Like there's no bush, there's no grass, no tree, no fucking nothing. There's a reason why that's called the death zone. You step into that area and 99.9% of any chant or any try, you're dead. And if you're not dead from the bullet that hits you, you're dead from the dogs that they send after you because they don't go there first. They send the dogs there normally. So, and I guess Russia will be basically the same. Russia sends wolves. They send gray wolves there to
Wish send bears.
or bear. You send bears there. You don't even go there. You say, oh, he had no food for the last few days. Send him. He finds them. He takes care of that. And yes, Tina, yeah. I mean, the United States is not the only country with stupid rules, but yeah, the list of stupid rules of one country is pretty long when you look at the United States. And there are a lot of rules that are so outdated, like, I don't know, you're not allowed to shoot a shotgun while having sex with your wife or something like that.
What?
Yeah, there are rules from 1900s that are insane. Like, I don't know, there's not allowed to be a goat near you while having sex, or stupid shit that you cannot make that up. Seriously, Google stupid American laws or something like that. That's not just a rule.
I know several of those.
Yeah,
I don't know which of them are true or not, but yeah, I've heard some of them.
the hardcore stuff is you think, oh, that's so stupid that cannot be true. That then it's definitely true. I mean, who seriously? I mean, most of the laws or rules are stuff that involves sex or stuff that other people should not see. But if I'm doing that in my freaking fucking house. Hey, if I want to shoot a shotgun while having sex, I mean, the fuck?
First, why?
Yeah, yeah, first, why? But second, why not? I mean, as long as nobody dies from that shotgun shot. I mean, if that's your thing, if that's your kink or your fetish, hey, oh, I need something big in my hand. Because I can have it. You know, who knows? I have no idea.
Okay, let's continue. I have
totally,
more than half
to-
of the list.
totally not getting off track here. How many parts did you?
Ah,
How many parts do we plan for the game of the decade stream? Because we are
one!
we're 2.5 hours in. I think we just should make that the game of the decade. Um, IGN choices. Okay, moving on. Telltale, The
Most of
Walking.
the list are similar anyway.
Telltale, The Walking Dead. Um, yeah,
Personally, I have a problem with Telltale as a developer. I played a couple of their games. I didn't play The Walking Dead, but when I played Tales from Borderlands and my friend told me that one of the best games that they did, I was like, nah, I definitely don't want to play Walking Dead.
yeah. The thing with Telltale games, when you played a lot of them, and when you think more about them and you know more about them, Telltale games are not games at all. They're basically
I can call visual novel a game.
um,
So for me,
yeah.
Telltale games are games as well. But the problem is, in most of the visual novels, my choice matter more than in any Telltale games.
That's actually the thing. In Telltale games, you do have choices, and some might change the outcome, but that's related to the game wanting that. When the game tells you blah 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 will remember that, it doesn't fucking matter. Not one Telltale game will ever remember anything that you said in a conversation if it is not related to an outcome that the game already has planned for you. Because let's say you have three endings, and at one point you have to choose an answer to split it off once, for example. um, then yeah, that's your choice, and yeah, characters will remember that choice because the game already knows it needs to go in that direction. But whatever you tell to any character in the game, they don't remember shit. The only thing that remembers anything is the database of the game. It shows you at the end what choices you made and what choices other players made. But
And also, if we're talking about that split endings of Walking Dead, it's not split ending. It's just a single point. Every ending is basically the same ending with with slightly different
way to it.
epilogue.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did play the Walking Dead. Um, I played it for a few hours and it wasn't too bad what I played. I tested a few others as well, but yeah, I don't know. It was that point where I realized that you're basically just playing an interactive movie with QuickTime events. It's nothing more basically. So I enjoyed watching the show more than playing the game. It's not a bad game. It looks nice, and audio visual, it's a nice game. The art style is pretty cool, so they managed to get the story of the show into that game with new story, which was pretty cool. So you don't play stuff that you already know. Um, there are relations to the show, and what I want to play actually is The Walking Dead Michonne, because that's a fixed, finished um, story. The other Walking Deads are basically um, continuing the first game or the last game that came out basically. But Michonne is is the standalone one that I want to play because it's the one character that I like the most in the TV show. Mainly because of the use of a katana, which is just an absolutely perfect weapon in a zombie apocalypse. By far. That would be my choice. First choice, zombie apocalypse, katana. Always. Katana. So yeah. But Telltale, not a bad game, but yeah. If you don't like any of the Telltale games, you won't enjoy that. And
Hey,
sometimes,
we're in 2013.
yay, only 7 more years. No, actually, 6 more years. All right, moving on. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Supposed to be pretty good. I don't like naval fights in Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed for me is a freaking assassin killing people and not a freaking pirate. That's my opinion about this game.
My opinions, like, it definitely have more polished naval fights than in Assassin's Creed 3, but I still prefer the second one if we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed 3 or Black Flag. I'm going to say heresy, but I prefer Assassin's Creed 3 over Black Flag. At least you had a lot more areas when you can jump over the rooftops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was my main issue with Black Flag is seriously um, way too much fighting on sea. I mean, I get it with the story and stuff, but it's too much a pirate game for me. They should have made it, I don't know. Uh,
Just a pirate
yeah,
game.
just a pirate game, not adding the Assassin's Creed point to it. Just pirates, Black Flag. Then okay,
Yep.
but it was it was forcing you too much that you had to use the ships, you had to fight and all that kind of stuff. So if it's a choice, if you can, if you want to, yeah, sure, okay. But if I have to, nah. I did get the
I don't
standalone.
know. I basically treated it like sea dogs.
Yeah, I did get the DLC, which was also released as a standalone game. Played it for 2 or 3 hours or so, but for some reason it didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed really. Um, it wasn't a bad game, but I wanted an Assassin's Creed game, and that's something I didn't get from it. So, but yeah, if you enjoy fighting on sea and stuff, yeah, Black Flag. But yeah, not a game for me. Dota 2, yeah, I tried it when it
Well,
came
it's Dota
out.
2.
I tried it when it came out. I had absolutely zero idea what to do, what the game wants me to do, what I can do in the game. I tried it for 45 minutes or so and then I gave up. I just if I need to go online to learn in videos and Wikipedia and stuff about a game to be able to play the base of the game, I don't mind if I have to check out wikis for more in-depth tactics and stuff. Okay, I get it because yeah, you don't have that much time for stuff. But if the base game is already telling you, hey, you know what? You have no idea of games.
Yep.
We
You guys don't know how to play it. Oh, you fucked,
yeah.
mate.
Hey, congratulations! You could start the game, and here's the exit button because you're a little noob sucker. No, our game doesn't this. No, you do. No. Go away. Play some other game for I don't know. Play Mario, Super Mario or something. And not a sophisticated game like Dota 2 where you have to be a PhD and a doctor and a professor or something in tactical game development. I have no idea. That game might be better these days, but back then, oh my god, the one of the
Still
worst,
the same thing.
yeah, one of the worst games to get into, to even
It's
start the game.
still the game that so not friendly to users that it doesn't teach you the basic mechanics of the game, at least all of them. It
Ah,
will teach you some of the base mechanics, but when it comes to stuff that every player doing in the match, you're like, what, what's happening here?
yeah, basically. So yeah, maybe for some it's good, but if you talk about the best games of the decade, you shouldn't be a professional gamer to be able to play a game because then it's,
Well,
I mean,
it's definitely one of the most influential.
yeah, I guess so. And it's one of the games that was based on a mod that became its own thing. So
It's basically from the creators of that mod.
yeah, still, I mean, it's one of those games that was yeah, it was created by somebody who wanted to change another game, which was Warcraft 3 back then. Um, and why do I even know that shit? I don't play that game and know stuff like that. That's how much of a gamer I am, you know? I know shit, but I don't care for some shit. And I don't care for Dota, so yeah, might be good. I have no idea. Okay, moving on. Oh, also a game on my freaking list. What? That's from 2013 already? Oh my god, when am I supposed to play that? Dragon's Dogma, Dark Horizon.
I played it.
Good? That's good for
Yeah,
you?
as an action, as an action RPG, it's basically uh, it's more arcadey, and it's I don't know, it's definitely feel like an RPG. So basically, when enemy several levels higher than you, games will tell you that the game don't want you to fight this shit.
Mm. So it's one of those RPGs where you actually have level related areas. So it's not like no matter what level you are, the enemy will always be the same or one level above you. So yeah,
Yep,
I do like
it's
I
it's
like that.
heavily level related, but starting enemies don't just stay on the same level. I think I don't know how much should they leveled to you, but they definitely still a threat, if even if they're just a starting enemy.
Mm. Yeah, that's okay when when early game enemies from your starting area level up to your level. That's okay because then it's still
Also,
a reason to go into the start areas as well.
also Dragon's Dogma have a good history, good story.
Yeah, that's what I know about it. That's the reason why I want to play it, and it's um
When I thought that I finished the game showed me a plot twist that I was like, прикольно.
yeah, it's hmm, what did I play back then? Yeah, it's a bit how I think you can compare that maybe to Skyrim, but a more hack and slash related game. But when it
This one
comes to story and stuff like that, I think Skyrim might be the closest maybe. Also dragon related. But it's definitely yeah, definitely more action, more hack and slash game.
Yeah, it's more hack and slash, but I can't call it a Skyrim story. Skyrim story good written and all, but I definitely like Dragon's Dogma story more than Skyrim story.
Yeah, Skyrim is
And not just because Skyrim was ported a million times on a million different console platforms.
yeah, the thing with the Elder Scrolls in general, I think I had that with Oblivion, for example. I played Oblivion for 160 or 170 hours or so. It's one of the games that has an in-game time actually, and I think I'm still missing the last two missions from the main quest or so. The main quest is maybe 15 hours or so, something around that. But for me, the Elder Scrolls always lived from the side quests and all those stories. The main story is just kinda reason to put all the really good small and tiny stories in there. Um, like for Cyberpunk, yeah, there's the main story and the main plot is something that you kind of follow. But what makes the game for me good is the whole stuff with the side stories and those characters. And when a side story relates to another side story you played earlier, or um, has some kind of a connection to the main story. But the main stories are, yeah, I mean, you cannot do that much with the main story. The main story in games is mostly like a really long movie. You know, you have your plot basically that plays over a certain time, but in the movie, you can just compress that to 2 hours or 3 or 4 hours or whatnot. But in a game, you have all that stuff in between that you have to add to make the story longer. But in basically and in general, a story of a game can be put down into maybe 2 or 5 hours.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter if it's a Witcher or if it's a Borderlands or something like that. The main story is like in the movie. You have your start, your middle, and your end, basically. But what those games and RPGs in general um, make them good is when the side stories are compelling and when the side stories are interesting enough to play them. Um, then you know, okay, the main story is there, but it's not the main thing or the most important thing. Like I said, Oblivion, I didn't finish the main story. I had a shit ton of fun for 170 hours. I had a lot of fun, but at one point I kind of thought, wait, what was the story? What was the main story? What's the main quest? What's going on there actually? So yeah, and that I have that with some games. So and Skyrim, yeah, I played it for 30 hours or so. I couldn't tell you anything about the main story. I could tell you a little bit about some side quests maybe, but still on my list of games that I really want and need to play and finish. And the longer I wait, and then they released the super shit definitive edition that I couldn't get cheaper because I didn't care for all the DLCs. So I only have one DLC and not the other. And yeah, I didn't get the legendary edition for cheap. So I still have the original, but with mods it looks as good as the remake and it actually runs better as far as I know.
Yeah,
Although
and
they fixed
and
something.
Vanilla have a lot more fixed bugs than Legendary Edition.
Yeah, the one thing they changed with Legendary was you the way the RAM is used is better. So with a lot of mods and stuff, it should run better. But yeah, a lot of mods didn't work with that anymore. But Skyrim,
A lot of mods, by definition, can't work together.
mm, but yeah, Skyrim when you modded it back then a few years ago, it was such a beautiful game. Looked really great. But you have to mod it
Definitely.
really hardcore now. But still, I mean, um, you have water physics in there, so the freaking rivers run in the right direction and shit like that. And yeah, really great stuff. And if you're a teenage guy and you want to see naked characters in a game, by far, as far as I know, and I'm not somebody looking for that, but the models, the full nude models for Skyrim are insanely high quality. Not streamable. I mean, yeah, you could stream those naked characters if it's not your main thing, but yeah, they're really explicit. But look great, great models. Okay, moving on. Dragon's Dogma, I'm definitely getting that and definitely gonna play that one time, one day.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
Specifically, fights are definitely. It's not Dark Souls, but still, fights are satisfying.
Yeah, there are fights. They're not like you hit the enemy 2 times and you're done. No, you have to be a bit more tactical. You have freaking huge hammers and swords, and not just like your your small or your regular swords like your normal fantasy game. I've seen a friend play that game, and he plays a lot of those Japanese hack and slash games, with all those huge freaking weapons and
Yep.
mega attacks and stuff. And he played that a lot, and that's also one of the reasons why I know that's a great game. It's a lot of fun because if he plays it that much and enjoys it that much, I know that I will enjoy those fights. And I'm normally not somebody who plays all the games that he normally plays. I like them more to watch when he plays them actually, because sometimes Japanese games like that are so extremely overloaded with all their menus and submenus of submenus into submenus, and that the inventory systems of some of those games drive me insane, and I'd rather not have that shit and watch somebody else play it. Okay, Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn. That was the multiplayer game. Yeah, right.
It's still a multiplayer game. And it's, if we're talking about Real Reborn, it's basically a reboot of Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, that's that's because it's called the Reborn part. Um,
I can upload them
oh,
for. They actually made it into a Reborn part. So they basically made in-game Armageddon and restarted the game. They basically made an event in the game.
okay. Funny, you can only buy the. Maybe they got rid of the added name, but it's only Final Fantasy 14 online on Steam.
Mm, I think they just got rid of Realm Reborn.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, I don't have that. I do have. I think I have 12 or 13 or so. 11. There was 11. All right. Yeah, it's also
11 is online as well.
really.
Yep. Yeah, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy 11 was the first online, then Final Fantasy 12. I'm going to ignore that one. Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, well, it shows only 14 Shadowbringers and 14 online free trial. I don't have.
Yeah, okay, they got rid of
I
Realm Reborn because that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, yeah, because that Final Fantasy 14 online version is from 2014, so that came a year later, or they changed it
Yep.
a year later. Okay, yeah, I have no idea. I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan. I know that the Final Fantasy MMOs were not the worst, and that's supposed to be one of the good ones. So I have no idea.
It became a good one. Why do you think they rebooted it? Because Final Fantasy XIV wasn't really a good MMORPG. But by the end of its cycle, they started to figure it out. And instead of just closing it altogether, they decided to reboot it.
Okay. Yeah, I know there was something about that, but yeah, well, it's still active, so I don't know. I cannot really say
Mhm.
much about that. Okay, moving on. Gone Home. Um, yeah,
Never played. I heard a stories about it, but yeah, it's definitely something that I can't call either a masterpiece, a must play, or something that impactful.
Well, it was impactful from that point of view because it's kinda seen as the first walking simulator. Um,
No, the first working simulator was created, I think, by Chinese Theorem or what the developer name, and it definitely was before Golf. I don't remember. Plus, you do remember that game when Grandma walking on the sand.
yeah, but when it comes to walking simulators like that, I mean, like that. Wait, I have an idea what was before.
The restaurant.
Um, what the fuck? Why doesn't it show? It doesn't show a freaking date here. What? The original doesn't show a date anymore. That's interesting. But I think that came out later actually. I think that came 2014 or so. Are you googling?
I'm trying to Google it, but I don't know how to write it.
Let's see. Um, no, it actually came out 2012 on the PC, February 2012. So yeah, then Gone Home is definitely not the first one. Dear Esther is the first one that really has. There is no gameplay in it. There's the walking simulators today. They at least have stuff that you can pick up, that you can read, that you can open or close and stuff like that. In Dear Esther, I think you were seriously just walking around. In Gone Home, you already had that. You could pick up pictures, turn them around, open books, read stuff, listen to things. So it had a bit more interactivity in the non-game that it basically is, and it tells the whole story without telling you the story. In Gone Home, you come home from university or something. I think you play a girl, and your family's gone, and you kind of, I mean, you know why they're gone, but you realize that in the game while you play it, with things that you read from the past and things from your sister and stuff like that. So it basically tells you the story by making you look it up in the game. So if you're not looking for it and if you're not reading stuff, you will not find out what's going on in the game. You can finish it, but it's kind of pointless. If you finish it without reading everything and finding everything, you only get part of the story. Um, so a lot of games.
If I remember correctly, you still in Gone Home will get the answer without any hints. So you
I'm not sure
get into
about.
the area where this ending is triggered, and you basically getting that, hey, I'm not like the others.
Yeah, but yeah, you might get the solution, but you will not know why. You might get the outcome of it, but you will not know why. Why, or it will not be. The end will not make that much sense for you if you didn't see and read all the stuff before. Sure, it makes some kind of sense. It's the same like watching a movie, the last 30 minutes of a movie. Yeah, sure, you get the basic idea of the good guy, the bad guy, and who wins at the end. But why it gets to that point, you're completely missing that out. So if you would watch a movie like that, you could say, yeah, it ends pretty well. But if the rest of the movie is even remotely good, no idea. It's the same in games like this. I started a game yesterday, Paradise Lost, which is also kind of walking simulator. You do have some interactivity in there where you have to pull a lever or push a switch or something like that. But if you don't read all the text that you find there, mm, yeah, you're just in a bunker hitting light switches or something and you don't know why. What are you doing there? And oh, that's my mic over there. That's what's in the. I was like, what the fuck is that? Was there all the time and I just realized it now because I have Wikipedia open, so it's really prominent now. Okay, anyway, yeah, so Gone Home, not a bad game. There's not much gameplay in it, but yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. All right, moving on. Grand Theft Auto 5. That's that old.
Definitely a huge leap after GTA 4.
That's that old? Seriously?
Yep,
It was released eight. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. It was
consoles.
console. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was on consoles. I think 4 or 5 years before it was on PC. Okay,
It
yeah,
basically got on PC with new generation of console.
yeah,
I mean previous generation of consoles.
yeah. But it came out originally on the 360,
And 3.
and then yeah, and that was re-released on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, in general, an almost perfect game, I would say. I don't.
I don't know. I definitely feel that Grand Theft Auto 5 would win with one protagonist. So story wouldn't be like here's built from this character, here's built from this character. More focused story will definitely be better.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 actually showing that one character allows them to write a more focused and compelling story.
yeah, it's kind of true. And the thing with GTA 5 before it was released, yeah, everybody had kind of that question mark about how do you do that game with three characters and three stories in one and stuff. They actually did that really, really good. Sure, they could have done the whole game with just relating to one of the three characters or making making you choice, for example, and have three games in one. I mean, technically, it would have been possible to play either of the three characters and play them individually and still have the same base game, but their individual stories from their point of view. But the way they did it was still pretty good. The situations where I didn't enjoy it too much was where I actually had to switch between the characters while playing. When I was going into a mission as Michael or as the other guys, that was fine. And what was the name of? I don't remember the game names anymore. I just remember the name Michael because I read something about him lately.
Trevor and
Trevor.
Franklin.
Trevor and Franklin. Yeah, Trevor. I would really, really like to have an a, an own add-on or DLC just with Trevor. He's such a sociopathic asshole. And for some reason, I really liked playing his stuff the most because he's the asshole that you don't want to be in real life. That's him in the game. He's just like he doesn't fucking care. You don't like it? Well, this is your problem, not mine. And that's what I like the most about him. Every character is completely different. They play different. They have different stories. So I really, really liked what they did with it. It's not your typical GTA, that's true. If you expect a GTA 3 from it, you will not directly get it. But in total, as a game, when you see it as a standalone game without comparing it to anything else, great game. Great looking, shit ton of content, hilarious writing, the most creative side quests in any game ever. Seriously, there are side quests. We were talking about it a bit earlier. There are side quests in this game. It's just crazy. So yeah, looking forward to the next one, which you can already pre-order, which is kind of funny. You can pre-order GTA 6 already. Pay for it in key stores. Yeah, as if I would pre-order a game that has not even anything than a working name, working title maybe. Yeah, I would definitely pre-order that in a key store. uh Nope. Pre-order costs $80 or so.
Okay,
Okay.
we're already getting there. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's getting late.
No, I
Um.
mean games for $80 instead of 60.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's mostly because yeah, pre-order in the game that's you cannot get. Who pre-orders that game now? Stupid. Okay, moving on. Kentucky Route Zero. Um, need to continue that. It was just finished. It just got its last episode a few months ago, I think. Um, it's a
I don't
point.
even know what's that.
It's a point and click adventure game. Yeah, it's a point and click game. Um, really nice art style. It has to do with a hidden with a hidden highway, and you kind of find out by accident about that and the story about it and the characters related to it. Interesting, definitely an interesting game. Might not be for everybody. Um, so if you expect something like Monkey Island, you might want to search somewhere else. It's not that kind of point and click game, but it is a great point and click game. Great look and art style. Yeah, pretty nice game. If you see that and if you like games like that, yeah, can definitely recommend it. Still need to finish it, but still a good game. Papers, Please. Yeah, that's a whole different game now. You basically border patrol and you have to decide if somebody is allowed into the country or not. And if you I mean, there are people who are not allowed in the country, and you kind of have to spot them. It's kind of a puzzle game with story around it, I would say. I didn't play it, I know about it. I have other games from that developer that go in the same direction, but did not play that game. So, yeah.
Well, it's definitely a puzzle game, and it's in a way, well, it's telling you a day-to-day routine of some bureaucrat worker, but still you're getting an idea that, hmm, he has an expired pass. I can't let him in, or stuff like, mate, you're a totally different person by this paper that you gave me.
Mm,
What's wrong here? So yeah, it's basically not like everybody who going from one country to another is getting the even by legit ways. It's not like every person who crossing the border crossing it without malicious intent.
yeah, exactly. And that's basically what you find out or have to find out in the game. So,
But
yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's just a pure bureaucracy. Like, hey, you have pass that expired like 5 hours ago. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a different game that is hardly comparable to other games. Okay, moving on.
But still
Spelunky.
an interesting experiment.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's yeah, Papers, Please. If you want to have a feel good game that makes you happy all the time, you might want to play another game.
Yep.
So because
Like
yeah,
Spelunky, who will made you rage a lot.
yeah, 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 yeah. Spelunky, definitely. If you want to punish yourself with a nice indie game, um, indie platformer, get Spelunky. You will hate it and yourself. um,
I think it's already Spelunky 2 out.
yeah, that was released end of last year, I think. It's on my wish list.
Yeah,
Looks really great. Has a lot of new functions. Spelunky actually started as a free-to-play game that you still can. The original Spelunky is still free. The enhanced edition, as it says, is enhanced, looks better, has more mechanics and stuff, and costs money. It's a fun game, but if you're just if you're a regular gamer, you will never see the end of this game. Never. It is impossible for a regular or casual player to finish this game. It's absolutely impossible. I wouldn't describe myself as a casual gamer. I'm a gamer for decades. I cannot finish this game. Okay, I didn't try too hard, but I know speedruns about the game. I know what you have to do to get to the end. To even find out what you have to do to have all the needed things to even reach the end, you need Wikipedia or hundreds of hours playing this game. If you can play this game for 100 hours and not go crazy, kudos to you. I would. That's the platformer equivalent for or like Meat Boy being a fair game. This is the fair version of Super Mario. It's punishing as fuck. It's a nice game, great game, fun mechanics. There are a lot of hidden things that you kind of figure out over time with the items that you can use and stuff that you can do, stuff you should not do. Like take too long time to get out of the level, you will die. So yeah, but it's a cool game. Moving on, The Last of Us, a game I would really, really love to play. That's one of the few games I would consider getting a PlayStation 4. That's the one game where that's that will be the one game I will get when I one day buy a PlayStation 4 just to have it as a collector's item. Actually, no, that was PlayStation 3, the first one, I think.
it was released for PlayStation 4.
Okay. Yeah,
So yeah, you're not so far away.
not I don't know too much about it. I know it looks fucking insane. The graphics of this game are freaking awesome. I know the
I
story is
wanted to
good,
play.
but
I wanted to play in Persona 5, but it looks like Persona 5 will get to PC. So yeah, I don't get PlayStation anymore.
well, we did get a Persona 5, which is not the Persona
It's
5.
not that Persona 5, and I'm not wishing to talk about that Persona 5 because Persona 5 is original or Persona 5 Royale not available on PC. Therefore, I'm going to completely ignore that Persona 5.
But I'm gonna do something now. I need to take a bio break. We're not taking that much longer, I guess, but if I don't take a short break now, I'm gonna definitely pee my pants. So stick around.
And it's already too late for me.
Yeah, I know about that. We talk about that in a moment. I'm not
Yeah,
muting you or
okay.
anything, but it's on break screen. But if you want to talk, talk. I will be back in a moment.